It all started in the first week of May, and now we are here 90 minutes away from a berth in the NPSL National Championship game. Detroit City FC, Midland-Odessa FC in front of a sold-out Keyworth Stadium, and we got the opening kick coming up next. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside what is sure to be an electric, sold-out, historic Keyworth Stadium tonight for the NPSL National Semifinal between Detroit City FC and Midland-Odessa FC. Alongside my broadcast partner, John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you wherever you may be watching around the world. And John, this season started with 96 teams in the NPSL. We are down to 4. After 90 minutes of play tonight, we'll be down to 2.
I'll tell you what, it's an electric night for soccer in the state of Michigan and across the United States. These two teams champions already. DCFC out of the Midwest region, and of course Midland-Odessa, the champions of the South. But now we've got to crown who'll reign supreme across the land. And in front of a sold-out Keyworth Stadium, in the largest crowd in the history of DCFC, it's going to be a lot of fun. My friend, I just can't wait for it to start.
As we take a look at the bracket brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And John, last week, a very exciting 3-2 win over AFC Ann Arbor. A lot of drama. 90 minutes tonight, and they can play for a national title.
Absolutely, and there was drama as well for Midland-Odessa. They had to eke out a pair of 1-0 wins in their semifinal and final matches in the South region. What it tells you is that these teams know how to get it done on the biggest stage, and this is their biggest stage yet so far this season.
Let's take a look at our pre-match report brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. The first ever matchup between these two sides in Midland-Odessa FC and Detroit City FC. Midland-Odessa coming in by nature of their 1-0 win over Inter Nashville, but the winner advances to the NPSL National Championship powered by Miter. And John, Midland-Odessa FC playing in the Lone Star Conference. They don't give up a lot of goals. As a matter of fact, just one in their 3 playoff victory run.
No, they are very stout defensively. It's also worth noting they've had to completely rebuild their side. It's tough for their coaching staff to get players to come in to West Texas, and so they've had to completely reconfigure things. They're able to come out, and their 4-4-2 system is very strong. They'll test DCFC tonight.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting 11s brought to you by the Henry Ford Health System. First for the visitors, from the heartland of Texas, Midland-Odessa FC. And John, you just touched on it briefly. A lot of injuries for that side and a lot of changeover due to players reporting for college teams, but you have to change on the fly.
You know what? It's the attrition that comes with the college season starting. You know that going in when you build your side with college players. Of the 22 eligible players that Midland-Odessa had, 15 of them are here tonight, and 2 of their subs have not played a minute all season. So they'll be tested. Their fitness could be an issue.
Now, depth is something that has been a benefit for Detroit City FC all season long as we take a look at their starting 11, powered again by the Henry Ford Health Systems. And, John, you've talked about it all season long. Depth has been something that Detroit City FC has leaned on. They will lean on it again here tonight. Tyrone Mundy has reported to Coastal Carolina, so it's next man up.
You know what it is, and that next man is Jordan Tyler. He comes in to that front 3 alongside Roddy Green and Sean Lawson, but they've played together before. You know, it was tough when Detroit City was going through it, when they had that match, that stretch of 4 matches in a stretch of a week. But they rotated the squad, and they were able to get them playing together, and that is paying dividends right now. You see a very cohesive DCFC unit, even with the college players leaving.
If you want a ticket tonight here at historic Keyworth Stadium, too bad, they're all gone. They sold out this morning, and we're going to have the opening kick for you. A berth in the national championship up for grabs, and we will start it all off coming up next. Live stream coverage of the NPSL Midwest Region Tournament is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Welcome back inside, and I don't think electric does it justice. As you take a look at the camera there, these folks have been here since 20 minutes before kickoff. Now let's go to the walkout with LaRouge, presented by Metro PCS. This week the players are joined by players from the National Soccer Club.
Metro Detroit Chevy dealers welcome you to tonight's 2017 NPSL National Semifinal. Please welcome Detroit City FC and Midland-Odessa FC. Alongside both teams for tonight's walkout with LaRouge, presented by Metro PCS, are players from Nationals Football Club. Thanks to Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of DCFC. And now for tonight's starting lineups, presented by Henry Ford Health System. For Midland-Odessa FC, number 1, Brulio Linares Ortiz. Number 2, Andrew Mullen. Number 3, Elliot Bentley. Number 7, Darius Strambler. Number 8, Isaac Sanchez. Number 9, Ricardo Palomino. Number 10, Alex Von Hell. Number 13, Andrew Mendoza. Number 14, Alvaro Rubio. Number 17, Memo Diaz. Number 19, Anton Harvas. Head coach Jim Robbins. Assistant coaches Aman Ahmad, Tarek Taha. Your officials for tonight's match are Leland Grant, Benjamin Hall Volpenheim, Israel Fernandez, and Matthew Miscannon. And now for your hometown, Detroit City FC, number 96, Omar Sinclair. Number 45, Jordan Tyler. Number 19, Roddy Green. Number 13, Bakey Goodman. Number 11, Troy Watson. Number 10, Cyrus Sadie. Number 9, Sean Lawson. Number 5, Stephen Carroll. Number 4, Seb Harris. In goal, number 0, Fernando Pena. And your captain tonight, number 18, David Edwardson. Head coach of Detroit City FC is Ben Pierman. Technical advisors Klaus DeBoer. Assistant coaches are Jordan Andrews, Josh Rogers, and Brett Mullen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem led by the Detroit City FC supporters section.
Welcome back inside a very electric Keyworth Stadium here tonight. Again, I don't know if electric does it justice. Let's take a look at tonight's Wheelhouse weather report. 75 degrees and partly cloudy. It's a beautiful day to ride up to Keyworth. And if you do, and for all those that did, DCFC has you covered with a free bike valet provided by Wheelhouse Detroit. with locations in Hamtramck and downtown Detroit. So we are just moments away from the kickoff of the NPSL National Semifinal. Detroit City FC and Midland-Odessa FC as well. A date in the National Championship up for grabs here tonight. And John, again, a sold-out crowd, and I believe every single person here tonight has been here for about 40 minutes already. This place has been rocking for the last 30-plus minutes.
You know, I knew it was going to be a special night, Neil, when I drove in through the streets of Hamtramck. We get here about 2.5 hours before the match. Normally, it's an easy breeze in for me. Not so tonight. People out frequenting the establishments, walking around, and I had to park out further than I've ever had to park away from the stadium before. And you walk through, there was a buzz from the moment we stepped in this place. The Northern Guard's been going since about a half hour before kickoff. The national final is on the line, and this place feels like it. And that's good for the game and good for Detroit City and, of course, for Midland-Odessa.
There is a starting 11 for Detroit City FC. Of course, Seb Harris there in the middle of the picture, subject to some recent honors from the NPSL, as was Cyrus Sadie, rightfully so. I would question about Sean Lawson not being on there, but we'll move on anyway. We're still going to play the match here tonight.
You know, I think that Sean Lawson, and you're right, I think he should have been on it, but I would also say this, I think he may have gotten overshadowed during the voting period by Tyrone Mundy.
No question.
And that might have hurt and possibly taken away from the good he did before Mundy showed up. And so that's a little unfortunate for Sean Clubb, but you know how he can stake his claim and say I belong there? Net a couple tonight and get your team to the national championship.
Now it's time for the kickoff, brought to you by Chemical Bank. Midland-Odessa FC will possess it first. Ricardo Palomino with the possession gets things rolling, and away we go. The NPSL National Semifinals, powered by Miter, is underway here at a sold-out Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you alongside wherever you may be watching around the world. Extra special hello to those of you watching on FoxSportsDetroit.com as well. First 15 minutes of play brought to you by the Henry Ford Health System, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. As the Northern Guard supporter section gets things rolling with the gray smoke here tonight.
There's a funny story on Wednesday night, a friendly against Windsor TFC. They used blue smoke. And I happened to go over to the supporter section. We weren't on the air, and asked why blue smoke was being used at Keyworth Stadium. And a couple of their capos looked at me and said, John, it's simple. We ordered enough for the season. I don't think we expected a national semifinal run. We've run out of smoke, and so has our supplier. It's what they could get us today. So the Northern Guard improvising, and at least they've gone back to the gray, because blue with Midland-Odessa's colors might have looked a little weird here at Keyworth.
Take a guess which way the wind is blowing. As you see, that saves me the trouble of having to explain it to everybody. The wind a little bit at the back, a little bit across for Detroit City FC here in the first half, as that foul will go against LaRouge. Midland-Odessa with a 7-3-0 mark on the season. They finished second in the Lone Star Conference Division. They gave up just 12 goals in 10 regular season matches. They've given up just 1 in 3 playoff matches. So, John, a lot like the matchup we saw against AFC Ann Arbor last weekend, in that Midland-Odessa, the Sockers, they don't allow many goals. We will see which strategy and which style wins out here tonight.
Absolutely. They're going to look to sit back. They've got holding midfielders in front of their back four. They'll try to beat you on the counter.
And here comes the attack by Jordan Tyler. But just off the line, Rolio Leonidas Ortiz, who was a second-team All-Sunbelt performer at Coastal Carolina last year, as we take another look at the replay. This is how close it was before Leonidas Ortiz got off the line. He gave up just 14 goals all season long. He was a JUCO first-team All-American at Lewisburg. Leonidas Ortiz can flat-out play.
He can indeed. This is a very thin Midland-Odessa squad, though. They only have 15 players dressing tonight, 16 on the dress list, but Jamie O'Grady is injured. They've got just 4 subs. 2 of them have not seen a minute all year. They've been hit particularly hard by the attrition that comes with a college program starting. So DCFC clearly with the advantage in depth.
Here comes Jordan Tyler making another run, and Leonidas Ortiz takes no chances. burns that one off into the sideline. So a quick throw-in coming up for Detroit City FC. Roddy Green thought about it, but instead they will go in a different direction as Troy Watson will step over. 2 assists last year for DCFC. Watson plays college soccer at Saginaw Valley State. Their head coach Andy Wagstaff, former assistant at Oakland. Throw-in comes in towards the box.
I like what City's done so far. There have been a couple of long balls. It looks like the long ball is part of Midland-Odessa's arsenal. Here's some nice service in, but Linares Ortiz is there. Nobody was making a run. There have been a couple of long balls trying to test the center backs for DCFC. Stephen Carroll and Seb Harris up to the task. But you're going to see a lot of what you saw with AFC Ann Arbor. They're going to sit back. They're going to try to beat you on the counter. And if you switch off, bad things happen. So City need to be resolute and present for the entire 90 minutes.
Linares Ortiz puts a right boot to it and sends it out of bounds right in front. The Northern Guard supporter section. As always, you can send us tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We'll be firing through those, and they're already coming in hot and heavy. I can already tell you guys we're not going to get anywhere near close to all of them here tonight. So if we miss you, it's nothing personal against you. It's just a numbers game at this point. But we've had check-ins from Alabama to Germany to Oregon. Really incredible here tonight. And a special welcome to those of you watching the match that couldn't get a ticket here tonight. DCFC sent out the message here today. It was sold out as of this morning, so I know a lot of you out there wanted to get in, but you can't, so you may be watching for the first time. We certainly do appreciate having you along.
You know what's interesting, Neil? You mentioned that. I've done some broadcasting work for various colleges and universities. I know you have too. We're used to getting ticket requests. It's part of a broadcaster. People think they know you. They think you have an in. I don't necessarily ever remember a 4th Division soccer club having its broadcasters getting people begging for tickets. That's what we had happen today. I know you did, I did. People want to be a part of this, and it's nice to see the gates closed with a full house.
Detroit City with the throw-in. Watson tosses it in. That's headed out. Detroit City in the La Rouge kits, as always. Midland-Odessa in the white kits with the blue and red trim, as is a staple of teams from Texas, it seems like.
Midland-Odessa deserves a lot of credit, by the way. They used to play in the USLPDL. That's the same league as the Michigan Bucks. They were actually here in Michigan for the Final Four in the PDL, lost to the eventual champion Bucks last year. So they know what it's like to get to this stage of a tournament. Made the choice to switch to the NPSL this year. I asked their manager, Matt Barnes, what was behind that switch. He said, you know what, part of it was cost. We could play in the Lone Star Conference. They had a $40,000 bus bill last year alone.
And that shot just buzzes the tower on the left side of the frame. Fernando Pena gave it a diving effort. But the shot, I believe, went just wide as we take a look at the replay, and that was the story. We'll get one more look at it.
Part of that is that City didn't know who to mark. There was a man coming across with the ball, and he left it off for a man making a vertical run. And when you're a midfielder or a defender, you don't know which way the guy is going to go. You don't want to overcommit. And the two players in the same place and the ability to go either way with the shot created the space they needed. And that's a great decision by Leland Grant, our center referee tonight from Nashville, Tennessee. Cyrus Sadie, the victim of a foul, and good to see that Mr. Grant in the middle won't be allowing Cyrus to get abused, because there's a little nudge and a little foul, and down you go.
Andrew Mendoza hit with that foul. Mendoza, plays college soccer at San Jose State, was second on that team last year in goals. Mendoza, John, really part of the reinforcements Midland-Odessa had to call in at this point.
Yeah, he did. They've only got, as we said, 4 healthy subs, and they lost a lot with the college kids, but they do have some guys with experience, and so they keep, they are resolute. They try to find ways to rebuild. It's also worth noting that they're used to being able to bed guys in pretty quick, because Matt Barnes said, it's also tough for us. Guys play for us for a season. They don't necessarily want to come back to Midland or Odessa. They've gotten the exposure. They go elsewhere. So it's very tough for them to do what the team like Detroit City does, where you have Cyrus Sadie, Zach Shewy playing for multiple years.
You just saw on the camera a few moments ago, Matt Barnes, also the head coach at St. Mary's University in San Antonio. And it was easy for the camera crew tonight to get Midland-Odessa's bench in the shot. There's a look at head coach Matt Barnes. There's only 4 of them, so there's not a lot of, there's plenty of room for error in the camera shot. There's no question about it, just not a long bench at all. But through all this, Midland-Odessa riding a 5-game win streak.
And they've had a tougher road, one could argue, to get here than Detroit City. They had to win their conference, first of all. The South region made up of multiple conferences. And so they had to win the Lone Star Conference playoffs just to get into the South region playoffs. So they're on a 5-match win streak. All of them have been virtual cup finals.
There's Jordan Tyler looking to do some work, and the offside flag is up, much to the chagrin of Jordan Tyler. More tweets with the hashtag #WatchCity. Chris Monroe checking in from Nuremberg, Germany. He said it's 1:30 a.m., but nothing was going to stop me from watching City here tonight. Andy in SDCA says hello from San Diego. Appreciate you, Andy, watching all season long as well.
Want to say hello to good friend of mine, Nicole Getz. She's watching back in the Marshall, Michigan area. She, of course, the purveyor of the finest radishes this side of the Mississippi at Frontier Farms. And she couldn't be here tonight. She was here with me on Wednesday, hanging out over the Northern Guard section during the Windsor TFC Friendly. Also want to say hello to our friends at the Ivy and Coney in Washington, D.C.
Pena has that one knocked away from him. He wanted the foul call, but no dice, Jim Rice says the lead official. At Mike Resp 21 says when you're away from Hamtramck, but you're City to die, go City from Harson's Island, as there's a look at the replay.
And Fernando Pena had a beef there. He was a keeper in the air and got taken out. He was right to turn around and ask where that whistle was. Nice job there by Stephen Carroll to get that ball up and away. City's back line was not in a good shape. Ooh, a lot of hand fighting going on in the middle of the pitch. Jordan Tyler.
That ball's coming in hot right in front of the broadcast location. With some good hands towards the back row there. We don't get a lot of action up here, but a very good grab by the fan about 2 rows in front of us. There we are. I don't usually have to worry about that stuff up here, but that thing was coming in hot.
It's all right. It's kind of like a foul ball. You got to be ready to catch it every now and again. Oh, that's a back pass. You can't do that you cannot do that if you're City with that kind of a back pass. I think we have a handball called on Midland-Odessa here.
That gives us an opportunity to give you tonight's Better Made fun fact. Cyrus Sadie played soccer at Lansing Everett High School, where he scored 26 goals, had 19 assists. He graduated at the age of 16 as well, and there was a good story in the Detroit News about Cyrus Sadie. Said school just came easy for him. He just kept blasting through all the grades in a couple weeks' time. Now, Cyrus, who graduated at the age of 16, I did not have that issue when I was coming through school. They did not push me through like that. I did not show those same qualities. So good on Cyrus Sadie. Lansing Everett High School, of course, famous A because of Cyrus Sadie and B because of a certain basketball player, right?
One Irvin Magic Johnson, the Vikings.
Yeah, whatever happened to him after he left Michigan State?
I know he used to work at Quality Dairy up there in Lansing. He was a pretty good convenience store clerk.
Leonaris Ortiz makes the grab. As we are in the 12th minute, pushing on towards the 13th. And John, as you look out there, you've seen the formations now for a good couple of minutes. What's your impressions of this match so far?
Well, my impression is that City should have the dominance. They have their 4-3-3 that they've stuck with all season is one that they can create space on and get some joy on. The problem is that right now their midfield is allowing Midland-Odessa way too much space. They need to close down. Cyrus needs to do what Cyrus does and close things down in midfield. Bakey Goodman also playing a step or two further off his man than I usually see him playing, and so that needs to tighten up.
Ball sent back towards the top of the field in the center, and there's Elliot Bentley with it. Bentley comes through, tried to find Andrew Mendoza, went through him. Well, the ball was crossed, but taken out of play, at least out of danger's way, by Seb Harris.
It's also worth noting, Neil, in this early going, the 4-4-2 really isn't a 4-4-2 for Midland-Odessa. The middle two of that midfield four, the two centers, are staying back in front of the back line. It's 4-4-2 in line only. It's really a 4-2-2-2.
Okay. That ball up on the left side as the offside flag is up.
And what I mean by that is that they're very defensive minded. We see every attack that Midland-Odessa has either been off of a DCFC miscue or off of winning a ball and creating the counter. And unless DCFC get a goal and Midland-Odessa are forced to chase, I don't expect that to change. The one thing they're doing very well is pressing the ball in midfield. And they just want to take over, be a turnover because of it.
Isaac Sanchez played that one down. Now they swing it out towards the left side, but stepping up is Jordan Tyler. Jordan Tyler's been pretty good so far here tonight, but Detroit City FC gives it away again. Moving through the middle is Mendoza.
They're too loose with the ball right now. If Ben Pearman were talking to Lindsey Pearson right now, he'd want much better ball control.
Sean Lawson sends it wide to the right side. Here's Jordan Tyler. Tremendous slide tackle. And a great defensive play made by Elliot Bentley. Now, Bentley was a Sunbelt first-teamer at Hartwig last year. Had an assist in a 1-0 win at Coastal Carolina, which was one of the 14 goals that Linares Ortiz, the goalkeeper for Midland-Odessa, gave up.
It's worth noting, by the way, also, Midland-Odessa looking much more comfortable on the artificial surface here than a lot of teams that we see. They play at a high school stadium, and only in Texas. The high school stadium they play in holds 16,000 people. but it's a field turf field, and so
they're roughing it with the 16,000.
Yeah, that's a small high school stadium in Texas. Here's a nice leave off, and that's apparently a fair challenge. So we'll keep on going and say that it's with 16,000 people, but an artificial surface, they're used to this. So they're controlling the bounces much better than the last three playoff opponents to come in, really. Because AFC and Arbor sometimes struggle to play on this pitch in terms of the bounces, and Duluth and Dakota both did. So Midland-Odessa very early, handling the pitch much better than some of the DCFC opponents this year.
The next 15 minutes of play presented by Fago, the official pop of Detroit City FC. As always, this is a Rock and Rye friendly zone here in the broadcast booth. I can safely say Rock and Rye, the official Fago flavor of your Watch City broadcast team. Some more physical play, and that time the foul is called. And Alex Van Holly.
He drew blood. Looks like he drew blood down there. There's going to be a booking, at least a yellow, you'd have to think.
I'm not seeing a card in hand. There is not.
Wow.
Let's take another look at it.
Oh. Well, okay.
Nope,
there
there will be a booking.
Now there's a booking. Absolutely.
Becky Goodman trying to shake off the ill effects of that challenge. So the yellow card issued, and Halley hit with it.
And he deserved it. If he didn't get a booking there, I think it would have been a very dangerous precedent to set, that a tackle like that with a stud in over the shin would not be a booking. That's a good decision, and Leland Grant doing what he needs to kind of keep a lid on it, because if you let something like that go early here in minute number 17, things could get really cheaper really quick.
Alex Van Holly in the books, plays his college soccer, University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Becky Goodman comes back on to the pitch. Here's Troy Watson with it. What looked like an apparent handball. The official says play on. Midland-Odessa will win the throw-in. No, that will be issued to Detroit City FC. Let's take another look at this. You be the judge. Ooh. At any rate,
tight
Detroit
decision.
City FC has the throw-in. Watson chips it towards the corner, but sends it over the touchline. Out of play.
Neil, while the ball's out of play, I want to say a very special hello to Amanda, one of the NGS capos, who is still watching from a hospital bed tonight. after a serious accident a couple of weeks ago. She had to go a number of surgeries and a number of procedures, but as her banner here at Keyworth says from her Northern Guard friends, she's fighting like hell. And as she sends us a pic from the hospital bed with a Northern Guard scarf around.
She looks like she's in good spirits. We'll just say it like that.
Incredibly good spirits.
Here comes an opportunity for Midland-Odessa. Pena up off the line, and that ball trickles through the box and goes wide of the frame. Fernando Pena got a piece of it and sent it wide, but a dangerous chance for Midland-Odessa.
That was the Keyworth pitch. Because that ball skimmed across, hit the turf, and spun out.
Seb Harris mixing it up. Isaac Sanchez sees that ball go over the touchline. Let's take a look at how close this was.
And it goes off the player and then off a boot and spins out.
Sinclair deflected that back towards the frame, but it did spin out. Ball headed up and on by Alex Van Holly. Green escorts that one over the line through a throw incoming for Detroit City FC. Rob Cole tweets at us, always cheering on from sunny Tucson, Arizona with the hashtag WatchCity.
Want to say hi to Allie Switzer and at Abby's name. Watching down in Alabama tonight, two of our most loyal Watch City viewers. Nice long ball, but too far. And that's an inviting run forward by Troy Watson. When City's fullbacks can get that far forward, good things happen, as long as you can still get back and defend.
Adam Morris Wookie tweets at us, thanks for streaming the game. For those of us who couldn't get tickets, we really appreciate it. Again, as we talked about, a sold-out crowd here tonight. If you wanted tickets, sorry about your luck, but we do appreciate you watching here today. David Sabin, as always, from Philadelphia.
And Robert Kaiser, who is checking in from Fort Lewis, Washington. Had to fly back to the base. He made the regional championship game, but thank you, Robert, for your service, and thanks for tuning in.
As always, you can tweet at us with the hashtag WatchCity. That ball cleared on. And turning with it, Stephen Carroll, and he will settle it down. Play it back to Pena.
All right, in the middle of all of our welcomes to our many, many watchers tonight, some real talk here about what's happening on the pitch, and that is that City is a step slow right now.
Right.
Detroit City's back line does not look as solid as they have looked all season. Omar Sinclair with a nice job there to get it away, but look at this. You're muscled off the ball. There's a foul. Midland-Odessa playing very physical football, and up front, credit where credit is due. The forward line from Midland-Odessa running right back at the City center backs. They are more aggressive than perhaps any opponent, save AFC Ann Arbor, that I have seen the forward pair run at and challenge the center backs to the point that it may force City's fullbacks to stay further back to help provide some support. And that's the part of Ben Piran's offense that sometimes stirs the drink.
Darius Strambler turns on the jets and tries to go through the defense. Now that ball will be crossed all the way through the box. Unable to catch up with it, I believe it was Isaac Sanchez.
See, and you look at that. Strambler ran right in there, turned on the afterburners. Again, Detroit City, I don't think expected or is coping well with this pace from Midland-Odessa, because they've been on their back heel at some very dangerous positions here in the opening 22 minutes.
That ball will be burned up towards midfield. But again, the Sockers with the control. Ball sent up towards the frame. Pena, speaking of Magic Johnson, will dribble the ball up the turf.
Play a little point guard.
Absolutely.
Got the dribble.
And that was a good distribution from him to Cyrus Sadie, who touches it ahead to Jordan Tyler. Tyler unable to make the play.
But that's all because of those two holding midfielders in front of the back four. And that's a great long ball in. Is he onside?
There's an opportunity. Fernando Pena closes the door on the right-footed shot from Andrew Mendoza.
And if Mendoza had it over, he'd take one more touch. He gave Pena too much time to take a look at that.
A little too much mustard on the hot dog from Sean Lawson to Cyrus Sadie, but Fernando Pena on his game early.
See, he's coming in going with a one-touch shot. Pick up your head and look that you have 5 yards away from the center backs. Take one touch there, make a keeper go one way or the other, and then you can slot it home. When he went in with the one-touch shot, it was all about Pena just getting big. So that was advantage keeper, but I think if he had it to do again, Mendoza would love to just take that one touch and make Pena make a decision.
Bit of a break in the action right now. Some more tweets with a hashtag Watch City at Oakland U fan checking in from lovely Macomb Township. Good to hear your voices on the tube. Hashtag Watch City. Of course, all the Golden Grizzlies fans cheering on Seb Harris and Sean Lawson. They've been integral parts of the success of Detroit City FC this year.
It's worth noting, by the way, as I saw you got a little love from the head man of Oakland Soccer, Eric Pogue. What he is doing over at Oakland University in the Horizon League is just nothing short of creating a program where kids want to come and play, which in a mid-major conference is sometimes it is the exception rather than the rule. And Eric Pogue, that great Oakland soccer facility they have over there, and the players he's been able to put in professional ranks. I believe the FC, so Cincinnati FC, a keeper that won that great penalty shootout in the U.S. Open Cup a while back, a Golden Grizzly alum. So
Steve Clark spent some time in the MLS with the Columbus Crew as well, a good portion of time. And there, Omar Sinclair has it taken away. You want to be a pro, Oakland University certainly an option for you if you want to be a pro player. 0-0 the score here in the 25th minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Sean Lawson sends it up ahead. Jordan Tyler making the run, but Linares Ortiz with some great anticipation comes off the line.
Okay, Linares Ortiz twice so far has come out of his area to play that sweeper keeper. You want to take a look at a professional model kind of sweeper keeper. There he is on your screen. You want to link that to a name you might have heard in the European game. The best in the business for my money from Tottenham Hotspur, Hugo Lloris. The way to beat that, by the way, is to send a second player up to make a run with the first player, as we have an injured player here that's going to get back up. It's number 7 for Midland-Odessa, Darius Strambler. When you have one player going through on a through ball, the sweeper keeper can come out and claim, especially on the pitch at Keyworth and on the pitch that runs very quickly, as I think we might even see a booking here.
We will. Joe Watson, the guilty party.
The way to beat the sweeper keeper in Linares Ortiz is to, on the 3 ball, send another player forward and make him worry and wonder about the pass. He'll stay back in his area and you have more space.
There's a look at the head man in charge for Detroit City FC, Ben Bierman, in his 5th season, also an assistant coach at Michigan State, was a 3-year starter at MSU as a player, won 2 Big Ten championships, went to 3 NCAA tournaments.
It's good service, but it bent the wrong way on him.
Seb Harris plays that out, and the handball is not called. It clearly went off the hand of Memo Diaz. And now Midland-Odessa will be awarded the free kick in a very dangerous situation.
You know what? DCFC needs to stop and shut up. Plain and simple. You cannot get in the referee's head. If he makes a bad decision and he and his referee's assistant miss this, this is a plain and simple. They come in, it comes down, there's a high boot, and it goes off the arm. They could argue that they could argue that it was natural position. I don't think so. But when you start whining at the referee in a game like this, he's not fazed by you. He's coming in here from Tennessee, and the more you whine and the more you ask, you will get in his head as whiners, and it will hurt you later in the game.
But he's still got to do his job.
I'm not saying he doesn't have to do his job, but I'm saying that the more you get on the referee, the more you get out of your game, because it gets in your head. No matter what happens, even if it ends up that Detroit City plays 11 v 15 tonight, and I'm not saying that's the case, you got to play your game.
So here we go. Dangerous situation for Midland-Odessa. Left foot served over top of the frame, and Fernando Pena will do some pull-ups on the crossbar. As that ball sent out of play.
And that was a relatively tame Shot over the bar. Yeah.
Fernando Pena getting in some work on the biceps and triceps there.
I couldn't do that. You know, there was Air Jordan. While I'm ground Krieger, I have that 1/8 of an inch vertical leap.
Becky Goodman taken down from behind, and the foul is called, and now we'll get the Bronx cheer from the Northern Guard. In the frame, Andrew Moulin. Moulin, the team captain, one of the oldest players on this Midland-Odessa FC side. Started a match for San Antonio FC of the USL, like in the US Open Cup earlier this year. Has some professional experience.
And look here at Stephen Carroll having to go back pass all the way to his keeper, and credit for Midland-Odessa to Isaac Sanchez, who had come up and just running at people. And another big challenge in midfield that's let go by our official. Or will they finally call the foul? They will call the foul. And so City will have a free kick that they'll put into play.
More tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. Drew Dennison watching my first live stream of Detroit City FC. Let's go. And so it's something nice about the announcers.
We love it when they say nice things about the announcers.
No
My mom reads those tweets.
Troy Watson settles it down. Cyrus Sadie through the midfield. Out wide to Roddy Green. Green with the chip. Looking for Sean Lawson. Headed away very confidently. But now Sean Lawson has it. Double team comes. It's played away and out of play by Elliot Bentley.
Got some check-ins from various parts of the world. Australia checking in tonight. Brighton in England.
That ball sent in, and another dangerous opportunity, this time for Detroit City FC. And John, the game is opening up a little bit now.
It is, but DCFC needs to make sure that while they are opening the game and getting some free space in midfield, they don't switch off at the back end.
There's Beaky Goodman making a run.
And he got muscled off the ball. That's a foul. Or not.
Jarvis.
Interesting. Okay.
That's the play. Next 30 minutes. Brought to you by Phoenix House, the official building partner of Detroit City FC, as we take a look.
Just a little arm bar and push. Football's a contact sport. Okay.
Detroit City FC, though, will take the throw in. Stephen Carroll plays his college soccer at Davenport. Scored 3 goals for them last year. Lines it up. Sends it towards the box. Seb Harris was the target. Linares Ortiz jumps high off the line to make the grab.
You know, that's where City really, for the first time tonight, I can honestly say they missed Tyrone Monday, who had to go back to his college program. That ball was big and bending and looping, and it gave plenty of time for Linares Ortiz to get in underneath it. Mondy's balls were much quicker into the box and at a place where the keepers were more unable to get underneath.
Edwardson sends a nice pass down the line. Jordan Tyler with it. Tyler working one-on-one. Tyler cuts towards the goal line, crosses it. It's over the line, out of play. Goal kick awarded. 32nd minute, Neil Rule. John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. Lindsey Pearson, our sideline reporter. Leo Linares Ortiz. Put this ball in play.
At that, Galen Riley checking in from Chattanooga, Tennessee tonight. As we continue the line of shout-outs, by the way, if you're tuning in, Detroit City FC wearing the home Le Rouge maroon kits. Midland-Odessa in the white kits with the blue trim and red numbers.
Seb Harris will head that one back to Fernando Pena. Pena will survey the situation, sends it out to Seb Harris. Beaky Goodman drops it back, and it's taken away. Moulin towards the box, and the ball is loose, and the chip goes over top of the frame. Boy, the Sockers with a prime opportunity that goes by the boards, as that ball was just chipped over by Isaac Sanchez.
Well, it should be 1-0 Midland-Odessa. There it is, and that's off the top of the boot. Comes right up. Perfect service in. City was wide open, carved open better than a Thanksgiving turkey at the back end. And they are lucky, our Le Rouge, that it's not 1-0.
It was actually Andrew Mendoza that sent it over top of the crossbar. Detroit City FC, John, as you said, very fortunate to still be level in this match. Elliot Bentley will send it back to the keeper. So we're into the 34th minute of the NPSL National Semifinal, the NPSL playoffs, powered by Miter.
I'll tell you what, Neil, City's passing, especially in the defensive half, is sloppy right now. A couple of those back passes have been slow. They're used to some of the Great Lakes and Midwest region opponents they faced not challenging them. And they had better get used to the fact that Ricardo Palomino, number 9 up front, is going to run at everything. And if you send a little lazy, slow back pass toward your center back, chances are the ball isn't going to get to your center back because Palomino is going to step in front. And City needs to be a lot more assertive, especially in the defensive third, with their back passes. That's it.
Dave Edwardson, the official says play on through the contact. Palomino chips it just over top of the frame.
Well, all right, folks, the standard is this. Anything but a full-blown rugby tackle isn't going to draw a whistle.
Here's another look at it.
That's 1 foul, 2 fouls,
Dave
3
Edwardson,
fouls.
he was trying to get the foul call there.
Yeah, he was
stop this.
He was committing a and perhaps they could have played advantage, but I didn't see our center referee Leland Grant make the advantage signal.
He did. He let him know.
So he gave the advantage. He was. I'm not going to go, but wow.
He played that one well. If you're going to be critical, you got to be complimentary.
That was. I didn't see him make it. I'm glad you did, because otherwise, that's an interesting foul.
So a yellow card in the books to Dave Edwardson, the captain.
Well, then you know what? Then credit to Leland Grant, because he played good advantage and he gave the booking, because clearly you have a guy on somebody's shirt for that long. The referee needs to make notice.
0-0 still the score here in the 36th minute. Watson with the throw-in.
So 2 City players on bookings, Dave Edwardson and Troy Watson. 1 Midland-Odessa player in the book.
Ed Harris heads that one down to the midfield. Dave Edwardson, the captain, steps through it, sends it wide to the left side. Here comes Jordan Tyler. Sean Lawson jumping up into the play, as is Roddy Green. Bakey Goodman. Left side of the box will retreat and maintain the possession. Bakey Goodman played his college soccer at Georgetown. He's a member of the Big East All-Rookie team back in 2013. Played for the U.S. U15 national team as well. Couple goals, 4 assists on the season during the regular season for Bakey. Really one of the unsung heroes for Detroit City FC. Those poor midfielders, John.
I'll tell you what.
They never get their due, do they?
Nope, not at all. Seb Harris sends that forward, but that's a very speculative ball.
Lots of physical contact there, and the foul is called. So this will be a dangerous spot. We will see.
This is in Omar Sinclair territory.
Absolutely, this is definitely in his distance. There's no question about it. We've seen some magic from Omar Sinclair, but they are actually moving it back from where I thought the original spot was. So let's take another look at it, see where the spot was.
Hey Neil, we got the magic spray out for the first time at Keyworth.
Ronnie Green locked up with Elliot Bentley. So here we go.
Oh, Leland Grant making sure there's no encroachment on the free kick.
Omar Sinclair stepping over it. here we go. Sinclair with the strike, and that one will bounce up to Linares Ortiz. We got an update from the other NPSL National semifinal that's going on. CD Aganuchos trailing Elm City 2-0, so Elm City in prime position to move on to the NPSL National Final if they can hold that 2-0 lead. They, of course, the overall #1 seed that was left here of the 4 teams.
And that's, by the way, done on a points per game average, because not every NPSL team plays an even schedule based on the conference that you're in. And so they take points per match played and determine seeding by that. And in the regions, you can have a bid process, but here in the national semifinals, the higher seed always has the option to host. It can go to the lower seed, but it has to be with the agreement of parties involved.
39th minute. 0-0 the score. Midland-Odessa FC, though, throughout the course of the night, John, I think it's fair to say they've been the aggressor.
They absolutely have. They have put the City on their back heel and forced the issue and are closing down the ball much better than Detroit City FC is right now.
Here comes Sinclair up the left side. Omar into space. He's taken off the ball, and the foul will be called. Much to the chagrin of the Midland-Odessa FC. Let's take another look at the run and the foul from Omar Sinclair.
Yeah, and he knew what he was doing. Just a little leg out there, and Omar goes down.
Alvaro Rubio, the guilty party, the native of Madrid. Actually transferred from Edward Carlos University in Madrid. So here's Detroit City FC in space again. And John, I will say this, over the course the last 5 or 6 minutes, it's probably been the best 5 or 6 minute stretch for City.
Absolutely, and it's because the midfielders are starting to control the ball a little better.
That ball served up over top of the frame.
But that needs to keep happening for City. The difficulty is that they are faced with this on the replay that comes over here. Just couldn't bend it down. They are faced with a front line for Midland-Odessa that is more aggressive than they're used to, and so there's been a lot of tentative play here in the first half, and City needs to get back to playing the way they know how.
Here's a nifty setup as Mendoza comes in and sends it over top of the bar. How about that setup, though, from Palomino?
Beautiful ball from Palomino. He set up the region championship winner, Palomino, who found Zach Penner, who is a super sub for Odessa. And I think there might have been a little slip here. Watch him. I think as he goes to strike it, I think he goes down a little bit. Off the knee, goes to strike, and lost his footing. And it went off the top of the boot.
So a corner kick has been issued. In the 42nd minute. Here we go. Ball served in towards the back post, and it's headed away momentarily. Isaac Sanchez does in fact settle it down. Omar Sinclair with a good challenge, though. Pokes it over the touchline.
Nice
good
job.
Defending by Stephen Carroll.
And better defending there by Sinclair to go in and wrest the ball away without committing the foul. He was not in a good defensive position at all to go in there and win the ball, but he was to stick a leg in without drawing the foul and send it out to touch.
Ball thrown in towards the box. Goodman, now a left-footed blast goes over top of the bar yet again. From Midland-Odessa with some quality opportunities as we will take another look at this left-footed rocket.
Nice long throw in, headed out by City, and then one touch and go and out into the concourse.
Mullen again. He's had a couple of prime opportunities go by the boards here tonight.
City, if you look at this first half, is living on borrowed time with this being scoreless. They have survived a couple of opportunities. And they need to step forward and be more assertive on the ball. They're also being out physical, which is something we're not used to necessarily seeing all that much from City. They can at least usually hold their own, but Midland-Odessa bigger, a little stronger out there on the pitch, and they're being allowed to use that physicality. That's a good long ball over the top.
Stephen Carroll again had to be sharp. He was the last line of defense.
See, and there was a classic Midland-Odessa formation and setup, because they had Troy Watson coming forward, and he thought about turning around for the back pass. That's what City's programmed to do. But Midland-Odessa have been so good at intercepting the back passes, he was forced to go forward, and in the end, City were not able to set something up. And now it's Jean-Claude Lawson mugged.
Sean Lawson out on that wing. Has the ball taken away. And the ball comes up the left side. Bentley touches it. Midland-Odessa trying to build that possession again. Ricardo Palomino has it played away over the line. Palomino ranked inside the top 20 in all of Division II for goals at Montana State Billings back in 2015. So he was a big-time goal scorer at the Division II level. He tries to make the turn with it along the sideline, has it poked away again. And another throw in coming. Almost 44 minutes in the books. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you wherever you may be watching around the world. Chris Brown tweets at us as supporting Dave and the guys from Newcastle, England. So it truly is a worldwide audience. Long throw in towards the box. It's headed away. Right-footed shot goes over top of the bar again. Memo Diaz, who started 22 matches for UNLV last year, put that one towards the parking lot.
I'll tell you what, though, Memo, the fact that Midland-Odessa are taking all these lashes at goal, they're playing without fear right now, because they know they've been able to come in and ask the questions and get a lot of opportunities. They clearly aren't affected, aren't phased by playing here at Keyworth. That's something we're not used to seeing, and they're just going through and turning that attacking third into a shooting gallery. Also want to say hi to Bob Getz. He's on the road. That's Nicole's husband and the other half of Frontier Farms. But he's having internet issues, so he said, I can't watch. I have to follow on Twitter. It's killing me. Sorry.
Battle again through the midfield, and once again won by Midland-Odessa. Palomino plays that ball up the left side, and it's touched out. You can send your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We'll get to as many of them as we can. Special hello to @KSarah, watching Detroit City FC for the very first time in Kansas City with our good friend NGS Hogs. Doc Marcotti, hashtag WatchCity. So there will be 2 minutes of stoppage time added to play. 0-0 the score. And as of right now, John, Detroit City FC very fortunate to still be level. But how many times have you seen this script play out, especially in tournament and playoff soccer? The longer you stick around and the more chances that are missed, the pressure continues to build.
You know, I remember back in about the early 2000s in a game at the Palace of Auburn Hills, Northwestern State in Iowa, in a match hosted by Oakland University, and it was a 2:15 game. And Northwestern State hung around, and knocked off the Hawkeyes. I bring that up to say that even though all of the possession and chances have gone to Midland-Odessa in this first half, it takes 1 goal to win a football match, or a minimum of 1. And if Detroit City can nick one and force Midland-Odessa to change their shape, chase the game, good things can happen.
Cyrus Sades, a man that can make things happen, finds Ronnie Green. Green looking to make a run. Andrew Mullen was right there with them step for step.
Great job to cut off Green. Cut off Green, didn't allow him to make the run. But there's a corner off of Mullen.
Cyrus Sadie will serve it. Seb Harris, usually a target in these types of situations. Of course, you can't go wrong with Jordan Tyler either. Jordan Tyler, the recipient. Jordan Tyler will be hit with the foul.
So DCFC now will head to the locker room, and I think that's the halftime whistle, and it is. It's hair dryer time for Ben Pierman.
45 minutes in the books. There is no score here in the MPSL National Semifinal, powered by Miter. Matt Barnes, the head coach for Midland-Odessa FC, and there is Ben Pierman, the man in charge for Detroit City FC. Will both go to the locker room and try to make the adjustments they feel necessary to undeadlock this game.
And Neil, that's not a happy Ben Pierman at all. That is a disgruntled Ben Pierman.
So Cyrus Sadie, Jordan Tyler, and the rest of LaRouge will go to the halftime locker room and try to figure things out. So 0-0 the score. 45 minutes in the books. We will take the halftime break, come back, get you the second half of play. This is the 2017 NPSL National Semifinal, powered by Miter.
During the week, I sit at a desk. On the weekends, I'm a DIY warrior, thanks to my 2016 Chevy Silverado. With its high-strength steel frame, my Silverado can take on any project. Add in its towing power and ability to keep me connected, my Silverado is the perfect tool for all my jobs.
Lease a 2017 Silverado 1LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition for just $219 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
A 4-year-old company, but we've just moved to the city about a year ago, and we renovated an old stamping plant here in Detroit. And we're focused, and our mission is to create and design super efficient homes and urban infill buildings using the methodology of Passive House, and package that into a pre-built shell that's made here in Detroit. And we're allowing to do different creative designs, again, for single-family urban infills, made in the shop in Detroit here. Everything we take is from design to rough frame to putting the layers on in the shop. So we actually create the wall panels here in Detroit in our shop. We load them up on that fancy trailer, and then we ship them out to the site like we did today. We discovered DCFC was about earlier or late last year, and we didn't have our building squared away yet last year. So really wanted to come on strong with you guys this year, and just really be a supporter of the team. With your new move, that's fantastic, and be able to help any way we can, which we thought was kind of a creative use, is just to have a way to have some outside. So we're excited to be here with your new stadium this year. So today we're putting together the prefab shell. It's consisting of wall panels, roof panels that we made prefab in the shop, and so everything's pre-insulated. It comes with some siding and a weather-tight layer. So that's what we're working on today to get that wrapped up and weather-tight today. Some of the science we've baked into these panels, into the roof design and details, is extra thickness for extra insulation, which allows us to have a higher R value and something that we call thermal bridge-free detailing. So everything is going to be what we call super insulated and airtight, and we're able to do that on these walls and roof panels that we've pre-built in the shop. It's going to be good. It's been a couple weeks here preparing. We're really excited. All the guys are actually pretty excited. I saw them taking snapshots with their phones and stuff, but it'll feel good to see when it's all wrapped up, it's weather tight, people can go buy, the merchandise.
My passion is architecture. I don't want to sit around passively studying. I need to create. In our architecture studios at Lawrence Tech, we collaborate with students, faculty, and professionals from around the world. And from day one, we design using the same industry standard software that architecture firms use. I really feel like I'm designing my own future here. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
I love helping people get what they need. So when you order with ClickList from Kroger, I make sure you get everything you ask for, just the way you like it.
Whole organic milk? Done.
2 ripe bananas and 1 green.
And today's fresh bread? Got it.
With ClickList, I'm your personal shopper, so you can trust me to pick out exactly what you want, bagged and ready for when you arrive.
Try ClickList at a Kroger near you. Order online, pick up curbside at store, with same-day pickup now available. Visit Kroger.com/ClickList.
You guys are ready! Oh, you guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's my ticket. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized his network coverage was a no-show. That's why he switched to Metro PCS.
because he figured out he gets a network that's more reliable than ever, covering 99% of people in the U.S. Switch now and get 2 lines for only $50 period, plus 2 free Samsung Galaxy phones. Metro PCS, wireless.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here, where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
During the week, I sit at a desk. On the weekends, I'm a DIY warrior, thanks to my 2016 Chevy Silverado. With its high-strength steel frame, my Silverado can take on any project. Add in its towing power and ability to keep me connected, my Silverado is the perfect tool for all my jobs.
Lease a 2017 Silverado 1LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition for just $219 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
We're a 4-year-old company, but we've just moved to the city about a year ago, and we renovated an old stamping plant here in Detroit. And we're focused, and our mission is to create and design super efficient homes and urban infill buildings using the methodology of Passive House, and package that into a pre-built shell that's made here in Detroit. And we're allowing to do different creative designs, again, for single-family urban infills made in the shop in Detroit here. Everything we take is from design to rough frame to putting the layers on in the shop. So we actually create the wall panels here in Detroit in our shop. We load them up on that fancy trailer, and then we ship them out to the site like we did today. We discovered DCFC was about early or late last year, and we didn't have our building squared away yet last year, so really wanted to come on strong with you guys this year and just really be a supporter of the team. With your new move, that's fantastic, and be able to help any way we can, which we thought was kind of a creative use, is just to have a way to have some outside. So we're excited to be here with your new stadium this year. So today we're putting together the prefab shell. It's consisting of wall panels, roof panels that we made prefab in the shop. And so everything's pre-insulated. It comes with some siding and a weather-tight layer. So that's what we're working on today to get that wrapped up and weather-tight today. Some of the science we baked into these panels, into the roof design and details, is extra thickness for extra insulation, which allows us to have a higher R value and something that we call thermal bridge-free detailing. So everything is going to be what we call super insulated and airtight, and we're able to do that on these walls and roof panels that we've pre-built in the shop. It's going to be good. It's been a couple weeks here preparing. We're really excited. All the guys are actually pretty excited. I saw them taking snapshots with their phones and stuff, but it'll feel good to see when it's all wrapped up, it's weather tight, people can go buy their merchandise.
My passion is architecture. I don't want to sit around passively studying. I need to create. In our architecture studios at Lawrence Tech, we collaborate with students, faculty, and professionals from around the world. And from day one, we design using the same industry standard software that architecture firms use. I really feel like I'm designing my own future here. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
I love helping people get what they need. So when you order with ClickList from Kroger, I make sure you get everything you ask for, just the way you like it.
Whole organic milk? Done.
2 ripe bananas and 1 green.
And today's fresh bread? Got it.
With ClickList, I'm your personal shopper, so you can trust me to pick out exactly what you want, bagged and ready for when you arrive.
Try ClickList at a Kroger near you. Order online, pick up curbside at store with same-day pickup now available. Visit Kroger.com/ClickList.
You guys are ready? Oh, you guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit.
Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's my ticket. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized his network coverage was a no-show. That's why he switched to Metro PCS, because he figured out he gets a network that's more reliable than ever, covering 99% of people in the U.S. Switch now and get 2 lines for only $50 period, plus 2 free Samsung Galaxy phones. Metro PCS, wireless.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here, where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
During the week, I sit at a desk. On the weekends, I'm a DIY warrior, thanks to my 2016 Chevy Silverado. With its high-strength steel frame, my Silverado can take on any project. Add in its towing power and ability to keep me connected, my Silverado is the perfect tool for all my jobs.
Lease a 2017 Silverado 1LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition for just $219 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
We're a 4-year-old company, but we've just moved to the city about a year ago. And we renovated an old stamping plant here in Detroit. And we're focused, and our mission is to create and design super efficient homes and urban infill buildings using the methodology of Passive House, and package that into a pre-built shell that's made here in Detroit. And we're allowing to do different creative designs, again, for single-family urban infills made in the shop in Detroit here. Everything we take is from design to rough frame to putting the layers on in the shop. So we actually create the wall panels here in Detroit in our shop. We load them up on that fancy trailer, and then we ship them out to the site like we did today. We discovered DCFC was about earlier or late last year, and we didn't have our building squared away yet last year, so really wanted to come on strong with you guys this year and just really be a supporter of the team. With your new move, that's fantastic, and be able to help any way we can, which we thought was kind of a creative use, is just to have a way to have some outside. So we're excited to be here with your new stadium this year. So today we're putting together the prefab shell. It's consisting of wall panels, roof panels that we made prefab in the shop. And so everything's pre-insulated. It comes with some siding and a weather-tight layer. So that's what we're working on today to get that wrapped up and weather-tight today. Some of the science we've baked into these panels, into the roof design and details, is extra thickness for extra insulation, which allows us to have a higher R value and something that we call thermal bridge-free detailing. So everything is going to be what we call super insulated and airtight, and we're able to do that on these walls and roof panels that we've pre-built in the shop. It's going to be good. It's been a couple weeks here preparing. We're really excited. All the guys are actually pretty excited. I saw them taking snapshots with their phones and stuff, but it'll feel good to see when it's all wrapped up, it's weather tight, people can go buy, the merchandise.
Welcome back to Sold Out Keyworth Stadium. 0-0 the score through 45 minutes of play. Detroit City FC and the Midland-Odessa Sockers FC. Part of the NPSL National Semifinals, powered by Miter. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. And John, that first 45 minutes of play, not City's strongest 45 minutes of play, but you know what you do with that? You wad up the paper, you throw it in the garbage because it's 0-0. Still all to play for here in Hamtramck.
Yeah, we're down to 45 minutes of regulation time, 30 minutes of possible extra time roulette wheel that is penalties. There's a lot to play for. What you got to do, and if you're Ben Pierman back in the locker room, all you had to say was, look, were we outclassed in the first half? Did they do some things better than us? Perhaps, but we're still level, and you can go out and we're still at home and we're playing our way, and we can go out and get a goal, and that's all they need to do. To do that, though, they need to realize that this Midland-Odessa team isn't at all scared to be where they are right now, and they need to find a way to address that very aggressive front line.
And John, that's something worth noting. Looking at Midland-Odessa and the game they have played here tonight, not for one moment have they been intimidated. Not for one moment that you talked about have they struggled with the pitch. As we will take a look at our halftime report brought to you by Metro PCS and take a look at all the numbers and all the particulars from the first 45 minutes of play. But John, that tells a story, and the question I was getting to with you, not for one moment has Midland-Odessa FC been intimidated by this environment or by this pitch, and those numbers tell that story. I don't need you to tell me that. Look at those numbers.
The numbers speak for themselves. Normally we talk about the second number, which is the 2 shots on goal per side. But really, the story of the game is that first number, 10 total shots. Because the reason those shots didn't go on target wasn't because of good City defensive play. It's because Midland-Odessa fluffed their lines. There have been a lot of shots that have been scuffed over the bar, lifted over the bar, lifted wide, lifted, away from the goal. And so really, by all rights, it should be 1 or 2-0 to Midland-Odessa. City need to go ahead and even that out and go into this second half with a better mindset.
There's no doubt about it, but as we said, it is 0-0. They do keep track of the goals on the board, and there isn't one on either side as we take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. And John, right here was the story. Some quality chances for Midland-Odessa FC, but just unable to put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and a lot of those chances came from City miscues. Bad, sloppy back passes, bad ball handling. Look at there, just a mug, a turn, and go. And Fernando Pena closes the door, and the best chance of the day as Owen Hoskins cleared it off. But it all started, as a lot of Midland-Odessa attacks did, from City miscues that need to be shored up here in the second half.
So we are just about ready to roll. 0-0 the score. But again, Midland-Odessa with the opportunities, as you see, and that ball just buzzed over top of the bar. That man right there, Fernando Pena, has been the difference for Detroit City FC here this evening. As play is back underway, the second half begins. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you at a sold-out Keyworth Stadium. The next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of Detroit City FC. Seth Harris taken down from behind, an early foul. Go against Andrew Mendoza.
Northern Guard breaking out the Rouge smoke. Going back to the old standards here to begin half number 2.
And with a berth in the national championship on the line, you go back to the fundamentals, don't you, John?
You ride the horse that brung you. You know, Neil, I had a chance with Nicole Getz and with her husband Bob and Jackie, one of the Northern Guard capos, and Kira, another one, to go over there, have some time in the Northern Guard section on Wednesday. Pop my first smoke. Let me tell you, it's hotter than you'd think. There's a reason that the fellas doing the smoke are wearing gloves. I made the mistake of trying to do that without wearing gloves. It didn't feel great.
Cyrus Sadie sends it ahead. Tyler knocks it down, turns, that shot is blocked. Sadie steps through, but unable to control it.
And now Midland-Odessa the lucky one, because Cyrus Sadie took a half touch there and should have put it in the net. This is a much better start from City. They're on the ball.
There is Sean Lawson down on the turf. Let's see.
Tyler comes in. Nice job to slow it down. Nice step over there. Little deflection. And Cyrus just comes in. Says, if I could only put it on the bottom of my boot. And that's a rather cynical challenge from behind on Sean-Claude Lawson, who landed kind of hard.
Here is Cyrus Sadie. So a good start for the first 2 minutes of the second half. Sadie stops his run.
It's like Tiger Woods stopping his backswing.
Left foot service from Sadie. There's a wall of Midland-Odessa defenders. Now Sadie gets it back. Confident as always on the ball. Threads the needle to Tyler. Lawson makes a run. Sadie instead with a nifty move. Curls it towards the back post. And it's headed away to the captain, Dave Edwardson.
And that's a better ball from Dave, too. City looked much more composed here in the first 5 minutes of the second half. They need to keep this up. Nice step in there. Nice reactive play to come in and change his run and make an interception for City.
And John, that's big by Sean Lawson, because it keeps the momentum rolling. It keeps the possession on that half of the field as another foul goes against Midland-Odessa. But John, as we were talking about, we're almost 3 minutes into the second half. Let's take another look as Dave Edwardson taken down from behind, I believe, by Palomino. But John, what's been the difference here in the first 180 seconds?
Quite simply, City are forward, they're further forward, and they're playing without fear.
Cyrus Sadie steps into the shot. And that goes wide of the left post. And again, a sense of urgency here from LaRouche.
City knows what they have to do here. They know they need to come out and be better on the ball, and Cyrus again takes another nice little swing at it. Didn't get all of it. And I think he was off balance, and that's why I didn't go in on frame. But in In the first half, City almost seemed to wait for the game to come to them, and it's the first time all match really I've seen them take the game to their opponent. That's a great little ball through for Tyler.
That ball punched out of play. Alvaro Rubio. Rubio taking no chances whatsoever. This is a very solid Midland-Odessa FC side. They've been very composed the whole evening long, especially defensively, and that's been the name of the game. They've surrendered 1 goal in the playoffs in 3 games total. Cyrus Sadie to serve the corner. Sends it in on a line. Headed up towards the side. Nobody home for Detroit City. Elliot Bentley will let it trickle over the line for a goal kick.
The other advantage City have here in the second half is their fitness, I think. Remember, Midland-Odessa only have 4 healthy subs. 2 have not seen a minute for them in action all season. So if Ben Pierman doesn't think things are working or needs to have a little injection of speed and pace come in, there are several options on the City bench.
Ball sent back towards Pena. Of course, Midland-Odessa FC on the other side. I would imagine we're about 15 minutes away from a Zach Penner sighting. He's been a big-time player in the playoffs. The closer, a couple of game-winning goals in the playoffs for the Sockers. He plays his club soccer for the San Jose Earthquakes U18 Academy team.
He is, by the way, the player that is single-handedly responsible for getting them to this national semifinal game. Scored the game winner in the regional semis and in the regional final.
There's actually a ball loose on the pitch right now. It'll be cleared out as Omar Sinclair settles it down. Bakey Goodman. He's a guy I think you're going to see step up here in the second half. Goodman swings it wide to Stephen Carroll.
Better job from Bakey there to reverse the field instead of going back and playing tentative. Saw a nice cross. Ball across.
Well, he heard me talk about him, and he had to pick up the broadcaster.
See, and we like it when they're responsive like that. Oh, that's a better job by Sinclair to stay in front of Palomino.
Isaac Sanchez with a cross, and that's headed out.
Palomino wanted to go for goal there, and Omar Sinclair said no.
Sanchez again with the cross, and that got all the way through. Diving a header attempt is sent wide. I believe that was Andrew Mendoza. Gives us an opportunity to get to our weekly trivia presented by Fago. This week's question: what was City's average attendance in its first season back in 2012 over at El Estadio Kazteca? What was DCFC's average attendance in its first season over at Kaztech? In a couple minutes, we will get you the answer to our weekly trivia presented by Fago. As always, Rock and Rye, the unofficial official pop of the Watch City broadcast team.
Oh, I'm a Diet Rock and Rye man. You're a Rock and Rye man. A word on attendance here, by the way, as we wait for Fernando Pena to send the punt forward. Credit where credit is due. We're going to talk about with the trivia the attendance back at Estadio Kazteca, but Kaztech High School. But as the play comes through here,
a nifty play, and the offside flag is up.
But
it certainly was offside by a good distance.
But it's worth noting that people continue to take notice of what's happening here at Detroit City Football Club. Great coverage from both newspapers, and it bears out in the attendance. The last 3 crowds here, the playoff crowds at Keyworth: 6,672 against Dakota Fusion, 6,989 versus Duluth, and 6,409 versus AFC Ann Arbor. That gives you a total for the playoff matches of 20,070 fans, and with the 7,400 plus we'll have here tonight, because that's the capacity of the sold-out Keyworth, Detroit City Football Club will average over 7,000 fans a match during this playoff run. That is grassroots growth and a community embracing this football club and this team and what they're doing and bringing to the city. And the fun part about it is they don't stop with just this. They're involved in the community as well.
Bakey Goodman turning with it through a double team. Sends it to Sadie. Cyrus to Tyler. Trying to thread it back through to Cyrus Sadie. And head coach Matt Barnes for the Sockers goes to the bench a little earlier than we originally thought, but Zach Penner has officially checked into the game for Andrew Mendoza. Sam Harris with some chicanery. But the Long ball sent ahead, just out of the reach of Roddy Green. And there is head coach Matt Barnes. So John, in effect, he's going to the bullpen here for what he hopes is his closer, Zach Penner.
This is the equivalent of a 4-out save. You're asking Zach Penner to go for 53 minutes plus, or 47 minutes plus rather. The thing about this is it changes the shape a little bit. Palomino, who has been central up front, will shift out to one of the wings. It'll be Penner who will occupy that middle spot, and now Palomino will try to feed him a little bit with service from the wing. Watch for them to go out wide here, but a nice break up there allows City to come back. Palomino was getting in space on the wing to try to send it back through to Penner.
Sean Lawson back to break up the attack of Darius Strambler and then wins a throw. Good work by Sean Lawson. As the answers to today's trivia question presented by Fago begin to pour in with the hashtag WatchCity. Nobody's got it right so far. I'll say it like that. Long ball sent up towards the left side. Midland-Odessa looking to go to work again. Left side attack.
City's back line is loose right now. They need to step forward and not create the gaps.
Zach Penner threw that one out wide, but nobody was home for the Sockers. There was the target.
The thing about a back line is you've got to stay a relatively straight line across. If you have one player that's a step or two back, you're playing people on side, you're giving that extra step, that extra yard to make a run. And right now, it's getting closer to what we saw in the first half, with one defender kind of off the ball a little bit for City.
Here's the first substitution of the evening for Detroit City FC and Ben Pierman, as Jeff Atkins will come in. Jordan Tyler comes out. So, John, that certainly changes the dynamic in terms of corners and restarts.
It does indeed. Atkins can deliver a ball, and it looks like Jordan Tyler was not doing well. He's come off the bench and immediately sat down, and he's being looked at by the training staff here for Detroit City FC. That may have been a forced change this early.
Stepping through on the move, but Omar Sinclair sends it away. But Zach Penner, John, who just came out a few moments ago with a very dangerous opportunity.
Tell you what, Penner found a way through. Watch him come forward, a little step over, and he was in on goal except for Omar Sinclair, and stepped around the man. He's got a very quick first step. He likes to step over the ball.
That was dangerous. That shot blocked up front by Omar Sinclair. So Sinclair saving the day so far for Detroit City. An update in the other NPSL semifinal match, powered by Miter. Elm City continues to lead 2-0. They're in the 70th minute. So Elm City looking to lock up a spot in the NPSL National Championship match next weekend.
The City comes forward. Nice ball, but one step too far. Remember, Elm City is the #1 overall seed. If they win, and they are leading now 2-0 with 20 minutes to go, they would have the right to host as the higher seed. That doesn't mean a national final wouldn't be at Keyworth Stadium or down in Midland-Odessa if one of these teams were to win, but the right belongs to that top seed. They've earned it. And so they're trying to assert that and make their way to the national championship game.
Omar Sinclair to throw it in. Sinclair plays his college soccer at Saginaw Valley State. And that shot will trickle wide of the left post. It was Gliac honorable mention as a freshman. As Omar Sinclair up there in Saginaw. There's a look at a grimace on the face of Dave Edwardson.
And these guys have played a lot of pressurized football, Neil. You know, you can see that. You can see Dave trying to stay into the game, fight through the little knocks you get.
Linares Ortiz, the former JUCO first-team All-American at Lewisburg, second-team All-Sunbelt Conference honors at Coastal Carolina last year as a junior. That foul will go against Dave Edwardson, and Edwardson can't believe it.
And Dave needs to not worry about that. That was a 50-50 ball. And there's someone drinking some Faygo.
There's some rock and rye being enjoyed, and that's a good segue to the answer to our weekly trivia presented by Faygo. The question, what was City's average attendance in its first season back in 2012 over at Cas Tech? The answer, 1,300. And to give you some perspective, this season, City has averaged 5,362 through 15 home matches. Long ball sent up towards Pena, and he makes the grab. So that father teaching his son the right way to go about it with the rock and wine. Do you see the look on that kid's face?
That is a parenting win. Well done, sir. You're raising your kid right.
Best moment of that child's day. Enjoying some rock and rye. No red pop. Not that I'm against red pop.
Listen, red pop is a quality staple.
No, there's no, I celebrate the entire lineup of Faygo. The grape is very underrated. Moon Mist, very strong. Everyone sleeps on the root beer. That's something everybody sleeps on, Faygo root beer, but rock and rye is the best. It's a fact, not opinion.
This is true. It is an indisputed fact. I was introduced to Diet 60-40 the other day, which is their kind of citrus soda, like a grapefruit type thing, and that was very good, man. And the whole line of Faygo products. I'm on Team Faygo. Oh, this is dangerous.
Becky Goodman will lead to a direct counter here for Midland-Odessa. On the move, Strambler. Trying to go through, but he's taken off the ball by Stephen Carroll. And that pass will be picked off by Memo Diaz. And Diaz gives it right back away. It's a sloppy on both ends by both squads.
He's got to watch. You're going to send a through ball. That's like a pass across your zone in the defensive zone in hockey.
And Cyrus Sadie wanted the advantage played, and the official blew it dead. Sadie was on the move.
Careful. He's going to get a booking for dissent. Be quiet. You are going to earn yourself a booking for dissent. This referee has shown he does not like the talking.
Clearly should have been
a Detroit City foul, or a Detroit City free kick. But if Cyrus keeps whining, he's going to get a booking for dissent because the referee is the man in charge.
Ben Bierman right now having a discussion, not liking the results that he's getting.
See, and that's the dangerous thing that happens. You're being sent back to your technical area by the referee. That's him signaling he's had enough of you. And so then it goes in, and he's going over to Cyrus now, and he's going to have a bit of a talking to with Cyrus Sadie.
So Seb Harris will get things rolling. Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Rip It, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC. Ronnie Green heads that one on. And Eris Ortiz makes the grab. Nil-nil the score here. We're in the 62nd minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you.
Look at Penner, and a nice job by City to clear that away. Penner had that ball and the position. He could have been turned there, and he would have been in.
Zach Penner taking exception to the defensive tactics of Seb Harris. I don't think Seb Harris minds all that much. The official will have a confab with both players, and let's see. He'll be the judge.
He leaned into it. Well, at the back there. Okay.
The old wily veteran play, though, by Seb. Put the hands up right away. So what a...
I didn't do it.
That's always a sign of guilt.
Yeah. What me?
So throw in coming for Midland-Odessa. Sent into the box. Stepping through is Jeff Atkins. Atkins turns with it. Former Butler University product, but gives it away. Diaz, left side. Pena makes a tremendous diving save and closes the door. It's still 0-0.
Fernando Pena, early man of the match candidate right here.
That header had some pace, but Pena says negative. How about this? Is that any good?
That's a negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
The corner served in. Wow. Now played high in the air. Seb Harris heads it up. Heavy pressure here from Midland-Odessa.
Nice
the
chip.
Best opportunity of the match so far. They're not finished as of yet. The ball played high in the air by Omar Sinclair. The whistle sounds. And now the training staff will be summoned to the field. I believe we're going to have a booking. And that is the case.
Sinclair goes in.
And the stoppage visit by the medical staff, brought to you by the Henry Ford Health Systems, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. So Omar Sinclair goes in the books with the yellow. But above that, John, this is going to be a very dangerous spot for Andrew Mullen and Midland-Odessa FC. Let's take another look at it.
Nice chip.
Wrong place, wrong time for Omar Sinclair.
High boot, but yeah, when you get the foot that high, you're going to go in the book because that's a lack of your body control and knowing where the other players are. And so that's a easy, ready-made booking straight out of the technical manual. So, correct decision. You put the boot that high. And now City need to figure out how to defend a very dangerous free kick.
Let's take another look at it from a different angle.
Yeah. He's looking at the ball. You need to have control of your body. You put the leg that high and your studs are showing. That's going to be easy for the referee to make that decision. And so
certainly
now,
not the intended result by Omar Sinclair, but as you said, you are responsible for your body. And Andrew Mullen, through all this, will stand over this one in a very dangerous spot. Mullen, the team captain and the oldest players on this Midland-Odessa side, played for San Antonio FC of the USL, former pro player. And here we go, 66th minute. Well, you can cut the pressure with a knife in this building right now. Sold out crowd here at Keyworth Stadium. Mullen serves it right foot. And will be cleared out by Detroit City FC.
Huff it.
Jakey Goodman tried to send it up. Jeff Atkins touches it away. Alvaro Rubio will turn with it. Jarvis high up the left side. There's Goodman. Edwardson on the move. The foul was called. And who are they going to get? Is it Isaac Sanchez? Or is it Dave Edwardson?
Well,
it's one of the two, right?
That's interesting because it didn't look as though there was a sliding challenge that he had completed his sliding challenge. It looked very incidental. I thought maybe he was just stopping him because of some medical attention. And it looks like we might get a drop ball here. He's got the ball in his hand. I think he was stopping it because he thought there was contact to the head, and that's what this is. It's just a drop ball. So he thought that he saw. Leland Grant thought that he saw that contact to the head of a player, and he was stopping it just to ensure the player was okay and that he hadn't taken a stud to the face. But you restart with a drop ball there, and Midland-Odessa, as is protocol, when it's stopped for your player, just sent it back to City, and we play on.
Sean Lawson settles it down. There's Omar Sinclair. I don't think it was Leland Grant's intention to get this much camera time here today, but when the nerves and tensions are running this high, everything is analyzed and reanalyzed, and there's just a lot of juice in this building here tonight. Everything on the line. The national semifinal started this season with 96 teams. We're down to 4.
You know, it's interesting. You know that Leland Grant didn't want the camera time. Nice step over there, try by Lawson. Did he earn City a corner? We'll wait. Yes. But the thing about Leland Grant is he earned his way here too. And look, no referee wants to be in the center of this. I always say when I talk to our officials here, I go over and introduce myself and get their names. I say, gentlemen, may you be as invisible as possible. He hasn't had that luxury tonight.
So here's Jeff Atkins' first crack at a corner. The second half substitution. Let's see if Atkins has any magic in that right boot. Sends that corner in short. It's headed up and out, so a goal kick coming.
My kingdom for a Tyrone Mundy service just one more time. You ride with the horses you got, but you see a couple of aspects of Detroit City's game right now that would have certainly benefited with a couple of players that are away on college duty at the moment. These boys in Le Rouge are putting in a yeoman's effort, and they're doing their best. But you look at that Atkins service against what we saw from Mondi for most of the league season, they're two different ball games.
There's a nice takeaway by Jeff Atkins. Here's Cyrus Sadie in space. Sadie with a head of steam. Sadie's pass deflected away. Atkins taken down from behind. Midland-Odessa tries to build a counter. Volleyed back and forth at midfield, finally settled down by Matt Holly. And here comes a dangerous opportunity, but recovering is Seb Harris. That ball will trickle in on Fernando Pena. But again, we go to the 70th minute. The tension continues to build.
I don't think I've ever seen the Northern Guards Tetris look better than with a full house here at Keyworth. They're trying to spur on the lads.
Long ball sent ahead. Seb Harris will knock it down. Dave Edwardson has it touched out. 0-0, still the score. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. We're going to have tremendous finish coming down the stretch. You just get the feeling. Detroit City FC as Bakey Goodman turns with it and sends it wide to Watson. Good pass by Bakey Goodman. Watson sends it in towards the box, but as has been the case here tonight, Midland-Odessa FC standing strong defensively.
Yeah, they're trusting their midfielders to get back 6 behind the ball right now.
Dave Edwardson will be hit with the offside flag.
You know, when you get into the 71st minute now here, Neil, and now we get into where 2 aspects of your game really will shine through. How fit are you, and how confident are you in your game? Because in a 0-0 game like this, if you're not confident in your game, what starts to creep into players' heads is, I don't want to be the guy to make the mistake to lose it for us, rather than I want to be the guy to go out and win it for us. And so this is where, if you're City and you're Ben Pierman, you're saying, guys, trust the process that got you here. Play confidently. Don't play not to win, or rather, don't play not to lose. Play to win.
More tweets with the hashtag #WatchCity. Our good buddy Gus Macker says the boat is rocking down here in Key Largo.
Watch out for
Here
Penner.
comes Zach Penner on the move. Seb Harris rides him off. Penner touches it in the air off the scoreboard. And a corner kick will be awarded to Midland-Odessa.
You know what? There was a little bit of respect there. Watch Penner and Harris. Penner could have gone down here. A lot of players would have gone down there. And if he'd gone down there with the contact, with the close play with Harris, there are some referees who might have given a penalty. But he stayed on his feet, and the two talked to each other and had a little respect given after the play. That's an honest, good play by Zach Penner, who didn't try to take the easy dive. Hats off to him.
Here comes a corner. But not before we get a substitution. Johnny Clifford will come into the game. He will replace, I believe, Ricardo Palomino. So Johnny Clifford in. Clifford is the son of former Celtic player John Clifford, as he comes out onto the pitch. And the evening is finished for Ricardo Palomino. Palomino played some good minutes, 70 plus here tonight. Here comes the corner. Served high towards the back post. Settled down, crossing over, stepping through, left-footed shot. Fernando Pena again. And Holly robbed as Fernando Pena standing tall again for Detroit City FC in the cage.
You beautiful man in orange. Look at this. He comes through, and Pena gets big and gets the hands out and punches in front, and then it's cleared away. Step over, nice step over on the ball, uses Seb Harris as a screener, and Pena tells his defenders, go, get it out of here. He was right back into it after making that save. And by the way, Johnny Clifford, as he comes in, Neil, he's one of the 2 players for Midland-Odessa that hasn't played a minute for them all year. He was brought on as a reinforcement and put on the roster knowing that there would be college kids leaving. It's an interesting time to make your NPSL season debut in a national semifinal.
With 16 plus minutes left. Well, I guess he's well rested, right?
Fresh.
Still 0-0. Into the 75th minute we go. Throwing coming for Midland-Odessa. Cyrus Sadie with it. Sean Lawson. Excuse me, check that. Omar Sinclair will be hit with the foul.
Just give him the ball and walk away. You're playing on a yellow, Omar. So a free kick here for Midland-Odessa.
Mullen steps over it, wings it out wide to the left side.
So they need to get back in shape. They're a little loose right now.
That ball sent up and in. Seb Harris again heads it away. Sent in again, and it's redirected, but Fernando Pena makes the grab. And up the right side, here's Cyrus Sadie, played away. Let's take a look at tonight's attendance, brought to you by Rip It Energy. You guys ready for this one here tonight? Talked about a sold-out crowd. Well, you know, just 7,533 jam-packed into historic Keyworth Stadium tonight.
I believe that's a DCFC record, folks. 7,533.
Incredible. Capacity crowd, to say the least. Couldn't get a ticket to this one as of about noon this morning.
And a lot of people tried, believe me.
Absolutely. Now we will get a whistle and a stoppage. What do we got? What's Leland Grant calling for here?
Some medical attention coming out.
As always, the Henry Ford Health Systems are the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. And Cyrus Sadie will step back. And there might have been a blow to the head for Cyrus Sadie. He's not very receptive, though, to the medical attention here in the 77th minute of a 0-0 national semifinal. Cyrus Sadie is not interested in what they have to say right now.
No. He is interested in one thing, putting the ball in the back of the net.
Getting back on the field. Here is Jeff Atkins again. Lining up for the service. Atkins towards the back post. And it's headed away. And it will scoot out for a corner. So number 8 will slide back over. Atkins scored 3 goals for Detroit City last year. Played his college soccer at Butler, was on the Atlantic 10 All-Rookie team, and in a stunning development, Cyrus Sadie is back out on the pitch.
There comes Cyrus, and there's the announcement of the attendance here at Keyworth tonight, and a well-deserved round of applause. Now, I'd like to
Seb Harris there on that back post.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Bend it toward the back post.
Harris makes his move. That ball touched away. Harris settles it down. Trying to chip it back up.
Control it, win the ball. Oh.
And up the left side, here comes Midland-Odessa looking to counter. Seb Harris with the slide tackle, got the ball from behind and touched it over the line. So mission accomplished by Seb Harris, as we will take another look at it. How about this defensive effort by number 4?
Look at that, comes through. If he doesn't get the ball there, he might be off.
Yep.
Going in from behind, but Sebi got the job done. That's worth a windmill on its own.
Stephen Carroll pops that one up and out of play. 79th minute. You can feel it, folks. In the building here tonight, over 7,500.
It's kind of like a pressure cooker with the valve slowly creeping up. Just waiting to come off the top. And if City were to score the first goal now, this place would go absolutely mental. That high searching ball. Nice job by Adkins to settle it down. Great turn. Step over the ball, confuse your defender, and then not the touch he wanted, but a nice job by Bakey Goodman to follow the play.
Seth Harris will pop it up towards the midfield. Sean Lawson in a 50-50 battle with Von Holly.
By the way, don't sleep on Midland-Odessa. Their 2 game-winning goals in the regional semifinals and finals in the South region came in the 76th and 90th minute. They are perfectly comfortable playing this late into games.
That cross sent in, and Fernando Pena up off the line. Boy, Zach Penner was on the doorstep off the service from Isaac Sanchez. But again, Pena closes the door one more time. Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Strategic Staffing Solutions, sponsor of the S3 Beer Garden right here at Keyworth Stadium and the DCFC International Series. Left side attack now for Midland-Odessa, and Watson closes the door.
And Penner, by the way, should have scored on that last run. It got caught up in his boots. City again lucky.
Nolan sends that one, and it's headed up in the air. And Pena up off the line will make the grab. But the Sharks are circling right now for the Midland-Odessa Sockers. But again, that man right here, Fernando Pena, is doing the job.
And here he comes in again, Pena. Watch this nice service across. And Pena again claiming his area. We've got a final, by the way, in the other NPSL semifinal. The number 1 seed is through. Elm City will play in the NPSL championship match. They win tonight, 2-0, the final.
There's Cyrus 80. Sinclair making a run. Omar Sinclair up the left side. Sinclair towards the back post, and it's loose in the box and popped up in the air. And Midland-Odessa will clear the box temporarily. Oh, and they will get the throw in, much to the chagrin of 7,500 plus here at Keyworth.
Look at Sinclair coming forward. A lot of other City players stopped on this. It was played back into the area and no one was there. You'd like to have seen, with 10 minutes to go on a run like that, somebody coming forward and trying to be in the box to try to poach one. Nobody was home for City.
And the Northern Guard verbally expressing their displeasure with the assessment of Leland Grant, the officiating crew, and that award of the throw-in. I'll just say it like that.
Color. Lots of color from the other side.
There's a giveaway, Bakey Goodman.
Heavy touch from Bakey, but nice job to settle it down and get it to Cyrus.
Sadie muscled off the ball, and the foul is called. That will go against Anton Jarvis. So here's a developing situation for Detroit City here in the 82nd minute.
And do we have a booking? We do.
And it is a yellow card issued.
Jarvis goes in the book, and he's still going to chirp. And Leland Grant is having none of it.
Anton Jarvis, the JUCO All-American first-teamer at San Jacinto College, was in the books.
If Detroit City win this match tonight, the man of the match is Fernando Pena. If Detroit City lose this match tonight, the man of the match may still be Fernando Pena.
Here comes Atkins.
For now, it's the offense.
Roddy Green getting the position.
High line.
Here we go. Ball served. Seth Harris was the target. And a goal kick will be awarded to Midland-Odessa. Steve Edwardson made the run. I believe it went off of Edwardson and out of play. Let's take another look at it.
Comes in. Well, okay. Goal kick comes out. And look at how quickly Midland-Odessa get forward. Nice chip there. And again, another nice job by one of the unsung heroes of the season for Detroit City, Bakey Goodman.
Omar Sinclair trying to settle it down, but how about this pressure for Midland-Odessa. They almost get the turnover resulting from it. We have a player down for the Sockers, Darius Strambler, who plays his college soccer at Coastal Carolina. He was a junior last year. I'm sure he will be jumping on a flight down to Myrtle Beach.
I'll tell you what, it's a heck of a place to go to college, Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely incredible campus. I had the privilege of visiting there, doing some college basketball work for Oakland.
It should be pointed out that they also have one of the best nicknames, one of the best mascots in all of college sports. Don't quite know what a Chanticleer is, but I like the way it rolls off the tongue.
Sounds important, there's no doubt about
it. It does. Wow, nice job to keep that play alive and not succumb to being taken down.
Well, Stephen Carroll never gives up on it and takes it away. There's Edwardson. Long ball up the right side. Sean Lawson making a run, heading it down. Lawson on the move, puts the brakes on. Lawson still with the ball at his feet. Double team comes.
Look at how composed that double team is. They're making Sean Lawson take the ball away from goal. Didn't try to do too much.
Looking for Atkins, but off the line is Linares Ortiz. He makes the grab.
That is a top-notch defensive play there. They didn't try to do too much with Sean Claude Lawson. They just cornered him and used the touchline as a third defender. And Sean couldn't do anything with it.
We move to the 86th minute. Seb Harris mixing it up with Zach Penner. Penner sends it to the corner. We get a whistle and a foul against Detroit City. Boy, you just hang on every play as we cross into the 86th minute. The cell phone camera lights come out for the Northern Guard with everything on the line. 0-0 to score. A berth in the national championship up for grabs. Who will face off against Elm City for the title? 86th minute, Isaac Sanchez puts a left foot to it, and it's headed away.
That's a heck of a job to head that out of there.
Long ball sent back in. Seb Harris heads that one up. And the bicycle kick to clear. Some space in the middle. That ball played out by Troy Watson, but it's given away to Elliot Bentley.
And that's a foul, undeserved one. Detroit City has got to stop with these long speculative through balls and exit balls from their own third. Midland-Odessa has the back line forward, and they are intercepting those and sending it back into a crowded area. Either punt it or dribble it, but these long through balls on the ground are easy pickings for Midland-Odessa right now.
As the smoke pours out of the Northern Guard supporter section. Almost 87 minutes in the books. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along for the ride here tonight. You can cut the tension with a knife. 7,500 plus on hand here at a sold-out Keyworth Stadium.
Carroll, another nice header, and then an offside flag.
So the flag goes up.
The way the smoke's blowing out there through the cell phone lights, that's the picture that'll launch 1,000 desktop backgrounds right there. Keyworth looking beautiful right now.
No doubt about it.
By the way, a word there on the cell phone lights. Wasn't something the Northern Guard started. It was a couple of the local Hamtramck kids doing it from the family side. And the Northern Guard picked up on it. It's become a new Keyworth tradition.
There's Isaac Sanchez moving it up the right side. Throw incoming for Midland-Odessa. And John, over the last 3 or 4 minutes, Midland-Odessa has really
turned the screw.
Yeah, they've really flipped the field. They are on the attack.
City need to weather this storm. Watch out for that ball in the area. Pena comes. Can't get it, but a nice job by Sinclair to settle it down. If you're going to come, you got to get it. He didn't. hearts and throats there for a moment for the Rouge faithful.
Rubio sends that one up. Fernando Pena will make the catch.
And stays in his area too. Again, another long speculative ball by City.
Holly sends that one in. Pena up off the line one more time to make the grab.
Remember, Midland-Odessa has used two of their 4 available subs.
And it's not that they're only allowed 4, it's that they only have 4.
They have 4 subs, maybe a 5th if they use their reserve keeper in a field player role. City stopped there, thought there should have been a foul. They need to keep playing. Leland Grant's letting this go, and City's just standing around and watching the ball.
Sean Lawson settles it down. Ricky Goodman goes to the turf. Official says play on. Fernando Pena will come off the line. Now the foul is called as Sanchez is on the turf. And that will go against Sean Lawson.
City leaving their feet far too early right now. It's almost like they're looking for the contact and the call. And what we've seen all night is that won't come.
Fernando Pena has been the story. That foul goes against Sean Lawson, and that yellow card goes against Sean Lawson as well. Let's take another look at it.
All right. I could see a foul. I don't know that I know that that's a booking, but that's what was decided. Neil,
we have reached stoppage time, 2 minutes. The stoppage will be played as that ball is touched over the line by Darius Strambler. So 2 minutes all to play for. A berth in the MPSL National Championship game powered by Miter on the line.
The winner will take on the Elm City Express, who won their semifinal by a final tally of 2-0. Reminder that if this one stays level through full time, we will have 30 minutes of extra time, no golden goal. If we are still level at that point, it goes to everybody's favorite part of the game, penalties.
Is there a hero in the house? In stoppage time, Troy Watson. There's a good candidate. Cyrus Sadie turns with it. Sadie tried to thread that pass through. It'll be a throw in for Cyrus. Lakey Goodman taking off the ball. Seb Harris settles it down to Sinclair. Can't be much left on the clock.
Oh, nice
takeaway from behind by Strambler. Strambler through the mid. Puts the brakes on and crosses over. And Seb Harris.
Get it out of there, Seb, and there he does.
Swing it out to the right side. One more push maybe for Detroit City. Lakey Goodman to Atkins. Atkins in space. Has some friends up with him. Jeff Atkins slides over.
Make the service now.
Atkins
go toward goal.
To go.
You can't wait like that. You got to keep an attack on or the official will stop things up.
Watson to Sean Lawson. Lawson stepping up to the middle. Edwardson, the chip. Bakey Goodman turns. And the ball goes over the line. A corner kick. No, a goal kick will be awarded.
Oh, you can't circle the official like that.
Let's take another look at it. What do we got? There's Bakey Goodman. Oh boy.
That's a corner kick.
That is a corner kick, folks.
City is right in that it was a bad call, but you can't circle the official like that. In America, in Europe, that flies. In America, that's a booking for dissent. And now you have members of the City bench going over to surround the official. And you're going to have some people sent to the stand. You can't do this in American soccer. Europe, you get away with it. America, you get disciplined for it. They need to get away from the official.
meantime, the whistle has sounded. So we will play 2 15-minute periods of extra time. So that is the scenario. Josh Rogers out pleading his case. Again, Leland Grant. That wasn't his finest call.
No, they missed it, but you cannot surround the official like this. It doesn't do you any favors. This is not a guy who's shown he's susceptible to the Revlon, to the makeup call. You just can't surround an official like that.
So the officials will walk across the field. They are drawing the ire of 7,500 plus here at historic Keyworth Stadium. So 0-0 is the score through all this. A berth in the national final still on the line. And John, keep in mind, this is not a golden goal situation. We will play 30 minutes divided up into 2 15-minute halves.
Yeah, they play it normal football. We're not playing for a golden goal. If you score early, there's still a chance for an equalizer to come. Aside from the rather questionable decision at the end of normal time, and let's be fair, they didn't get that one right, it's still 0-0, and we're back to a 30-minute contest. So we discuss that, and we look at it like this. Detroit City still has only used one of its subs. Jeff Adkins, the only sub to come on. You look at the reserves who are available for Detroit City. They could bring on Zach Shiwi. They could bring on Greg Janicki. They could bring on Mauricio Castorino. There is the chance to bring that forward, and it could benefit City here going forward. I question how long Odessa can last.
Let's take a look at the stats from the 90 minutes of play. And John, we made mention of it. There were stretches of this game where Midland-Odessa FC really tilted the field against DCFC. But again, you look at these numbers, the only one that matters is the 0 next to both the teams' names. It's all to play for here in extra time.
Yeah, throw the rest of them out. We're now into a 30-minute game, followed by the thing I hate most in sport, penalties, if necessary. But all of those stats, the promising thing if you're the City faithful is that you were able to increase your shots on goal. I believe they had 2 at the half. They had 6 in the second half. One of them made the target. But City playing a little bit better and focusing a little bit better. The bad news is 18 shots total for Midland-Odessa. Tells me there's an awful lot of space and an awful lot of joy that Midland-Odessa has had against the City back line.
Let's take a look at how we got here. The highlights of the first 90 minutes of play. Jordan Tyler with an early opportunity on the cross, but the story of the 90 minutes, Cyrus Sadie would see a shot go wide. The attack of Midland-Odessa FC was relentless all night long. Fernando Pena really stood on his head at times during this match. And certainly, as we talked about during the run of play, if there has been a man of the match, there's no doubt about it. The man in orange for Detroit City FC, number 0, Fernando Pena. Seb Harris has been strong defensively as well. But a game that got very physical at times. We've seen multiple bookings during this 90 minutes. Lots of players in right now with the yellow card. But through it all, 0-0 is the score. And we will take a quick break and come back, and you will not miss a moment of extra time. We're going to play 2 15-minute halves. If no winner is decided, we will go to John Krieger's favorite, the penalty scenario. So don't go anywhere. 0-0. We're headed to extra time for a berth in the MPSL National Championship.
We're a 4-year-old company, but we've just moved to the city about a year ago, and we renovated an old stamping plant here in Detroit. And we're focused, and our mission is to create and design super efficient homes and urban infill buildings using the methodology of Passive House, and package that into a pre-built shell that's made here in Detroit. and we're allowing to do different creative designs, again, for single-family urban infills made in the shop in Detroit here. Everything we take is from design to rough frame to putting the layers on in the shop. So we actually create the wall panels here in Detroit in our shop. We load them up on that fancy trailer and then we ship them out to the site like we did today. We discovered DCFC was about earlier or late last year, and we didn't have our building squared away yet last year, so really wanted to come on strong with you guys this year and just really be a supporter of the team. With your new move, that's fantastic, and be able to help any way we can, which we thought was kind of a creative use, is just to have a way to have some outside. So we're excited to be here with your new stadium this year. So today we're putting together the prefab shell. It's consisting of wall panels, roof panels that we made prefab in the shop. And so everything's pre-insulated. It comes with some siding and a weather-tight layer. So that's what we're working on today to get that wrapped up and weather-tight today. Some of the science we baked into these panels, into the roof design and details, is extra thickness for extra insulation, which allows us to have a higher R value and something that we call thermal bridge-free detailing. So everything is going to be what we call super insulated and airtight, and we're able to do that on these walls and roof panels that we've pre-built in the shop. It's going to be good. It's been a couple weeks here preparing. We're really excited. All the guys are actually pretty excited. I saw them taking snapshots with their phones and stuff, but it'll feel good to see when it's all wrapped up, it's weather tight, people can go buy, their merchandise.
Welcome back to a sold-out Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. 90 minutes, not sufficient. To determine a winner here tonight, we will play 120, broken up into two 15-minute halves. If we're still tied after that 30 minutes, we go to penalties. Couple of subs for Detroit City FC. Greg Janicki in, Zach Shiwi in. And John, this is a situation where if you're City, you have to lean on your depth. Only two available subs for Midland-Odessa FC. And look, hey, Midland-Odessa FC, they've had the better of it for the 90 minutes. Doesn't matter. What's going to happen in this 30 minutes?
Well, let's take a look at the subs and what it means. First of all, Shiwi and Janicki comes in. Janicki is a defender. Shiwi comes in as a defender as well. They are both big physical defenders, and Janicki has that kind of body. He's played in some of the higher levels of the game, played for the Indy 11, I believe, and so he knows how to mete out a little bit of that Hamtramck justice and maybe get some of the Midland-Odessa players off their games. On the other side, for Midland-Odessa, they've only got the two subs left. Leo Barba could come in, and also Jorge Medina could come in. Leo Barba has yet to play a minute for Midland-Odessa in this season, and Medina's the backup keeper. That's who's eligible. So advantage to Detroit City, bringing in players that have played in Ben Pierman's system. Let's just see how Janicki and Shiwi bedding in defensively plays into what Ben Pierman wants done here in extra time.
We talked about Greg Janicki. He also has played for the DC United of MLS, and he is a defender, but it's worthy to note he scored 74 goals in high school at Anchor Bay High School. Was all Big Ten first teamer at Michigan State. He's a defender, yes, but he's capable of finding the back of the net.
I would bet that a lot of those goals came on set pieces with him forward, and given that City have struggled on corners tonight, it'll be very interesting to see if they get one, how close that ball comes to finding Janicki's head. Again, a dangerous back pass, and look at Midland-Odessa try to close it down. And then the resulting punt is speculative, and now we have uncertain play in midfield. City need to slow that down. Nice triangle there to close down the City player and force him to make a move. And here we go with Midland-Odessa trying to win possession, but a foul is called.
So Seb Harris's night, John, is finished, but a very strong 90 minutes from Sebi here tonight.
He did. He played very well in the center back's role, and that's a kid who's given his all for the club. He's a longtime servant of Detroit City. He of the windmill fame here on this run to the playoffs and keeping Detroit City moving in what was, I think, a good part of this Midwest Region Championship run was his late goal to set up the equalizer against Lansing United. That was a big momentum boost for the club. His race is run, but it's a worthy race, and you said it, he put in a yeoman's effort for 90.
Offside flag is up against Detroit City. So we're in the second minute of extra time. talked about with every moment that ticks off the clock throughout regulation, the screws continue to tighten. We'll turn that up by about 10 here in the extra time. With everything on the line, the pressure mounts and mounts. Every touch could be your last. Cyrus Sadie through the middle. Is there a hero in the building? We will find out. Sean Lawson steps through. Lawson's cross deflected over the goal line. A corner here in the 3rd minute of extra time, John.
I'll tell you what, here we go. We're going to see what Janicki does and where he lines up. And now you see Jeff Atkins, who was City's corner taker before Tyrone Mondi come in, go to that far quadrant. And look at Janicki already getting in, trying to set up a run.
He does make a run. Atkins serves it towards the back post, stepping in and clanking it off the bar. Cyrus Sadie steps through it to the back of the net. No, it is not.
Oh, I want to see a replay. I think that might have gone over the line. Oh, I hope our crew got a shot, because I thought that ball was in. If not, it was an amazing save by Linares Ortiz.
What a sequence of play. Let's take another look at it. The corner was served in.
Off the bar.
It was banged off the bar. But here's the shot.
No, off the line.
Moulin got it. It beat the keeper, but the defender, Andrew Moulin, saved the day for Midland-Odessa.
Wow. I'll tell you what, and good job by the assistant referee to get all the way down the line. We've been critical of Leland Grant's crew tonight, but that was a heck of a job to get down there and see.
Here comes Cyrus Sadie again. He was inches away. Becky Goodman turning with it, and now the foul will be called against Cyrus Sadie, and a yellow card has been issued, and that will go against Memo Diaz. So yet another yellow sent out. Lots of players playing on yellows now.
Keep in mind,
wow,
if you pick up a second yellow and it becomes a red, you're off for the final. It would carry a one-match ban for a second yellow. So you got to be careful. You're not only playing for tonight, you want to be eligible for next week.
In the 5th minute of extra time, Atkins steps over it. Again, Janicki could be a target. Atkins puts the right boot to it, sends it up. And it's flicked on and over top of everything by Stephen Carroll. But boy, Andrew Mullins saved
hold on, Neil.
the day.
I think they're calling a corner.
So they are calling a corner, and Atkins will trot over.
I thought Carroll got it too, but apparently off a defender.
So we'll do it again. Jeff Atkins. It's been spot on with a couple of corners here in the last few moments. Atkins gives the signal. Puts the boot to it towards the back post again, and that one's headed up in the air. Roddy Green controls it. Roddy Green lost control of it.
And now watch the counter. Look at how quickly Midland-Odessa, and look at Zach Shiwi stepping in. And Zach Penner wants a handball, and he didn't get it. But Zach Shiwi with a great deflection to break that up. Coming on with fresh legs.
Memo Diaz puts that ball out of play. Oh boy, as good as Fernando Pena's been tonight, Andrew Mullen saved the day as a defender for Midland-Odessa. Had the keeper beat. Thought it was trickling in, but we are still level at 0.
You know, whoever wins this game, these two sides have given their all. We've seen chances for both sides. City have now had a bona fide chance. Really, their first and best of the night comes in the 95th minute.
There's Cyrus Sadie. Sends it up to the left side. That ball just trickled over the line. But John, it has been all Detroit City here. Now into the 7th minute of extra time.
You know, you love to see the assertiveness from City and the pace that Zach Shiwi's brought in defensively as well.
It's been a game changer, no doubt.
The one thing that I would like to see is a little less reliance on the long distance through ball on the ground. City still haven't figured out that Midland-Odessa are very good at stepping in and breaking those up. The one time it gets through, it could be trouble. But that little chip there is more effective than some of the ground balls they've been sending.
Dave Edwardson will win a corner. So again, Detroit City FC really leaning on Midland-Odessa right now. Yet another corner.
The other thing here is Janicki's presence in there, even though he hasn't gotten his head on a ball yet, just that physical presence inside has created a little more opportunity. You have to respect him. And you watch, see that center back creeping out to look at Janicki. See how close he's being marked? He's being pointed at there in the box. They want to know where he is.
He's trying to shake loose. Atkins serves it again. That ball got over top of the keeper, but it was headed out. Bakey Goodman settles it down. Bakey going one-on-one, now 1v2. And turning with it, blows a tire, but Bakey Goodman still on it.
And then got pushed over, and the referee said play on.
I think the footing slipped out there for Bakey Goodman.
But Bakey Goodman didn't give up on the play, and look at Zach Sheewey there, winning the ball as well.
We're in the 98th minute. Again, we will play 120 here tonight, no matter what. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. In a sold-out Keyworth Stadium, over 7,500 wedged in tight. With a berth in the national semifinal, Elm City was victorious.
Nice job by Penner there to settle that down, Neil. Watch out for this. Nice ball in.
Right at Fernando Pena, who makes the grab.
And Matt, and see, that's a veteran move by Fernando Pena. Didn't like the shape of what he saw, so he puts the ball down, keeps control, lets some people back off of it. That's a veteran move by a keeper that often goes unsung. We're going to sing it tonight. So many keepers would be so willing to just hurl that ball out of there. Fernando took the step, didn't like what he saw, said, I'll handle this myself, and forced everybody to back away.
Pena, of course, the #1 ranked goalkeeping recruit in the entire country coming out of high school. Played at Akron as an all-MAC performer as a freshman. Also allowed only 2 goals in 298 minutes of action in the 2011 CONCACAF U17 championships.
Oh, that's a great defensive play again by Zach Sheewey.
Roddy Green, the target. Roddy Green taken down with a shove.
Hold on.
And there is no whistle.
Wow.
There was a clear right arm extended on the shove.
I didn't think that was a question of whether it would be a foul. I thought of whether or not it was a clear goal-scoring opportunity and the possibility for a red.
That ball sent up to Sadie in the box. He turns and fires it high and wide, but I'm sure we will get another look at that one. Wow, it's all I can say. And look,
there's the ball.
You try to be fair as a broadcaster, and on second look, let's take one more look at it.
He could say maybe that Green leaned in and initiated some contact.
There's Cyrus Sadie ripping it with the left foot. It wasn't egregious in the replay as it looked in real time. So here we go. Edwardson sends it out to Atkins. Atkins. Edwardson will play it over the line. "100 minutes down.
20 more, my friend.
I don't know if these fans can take it.
I think the Northern Guard's got it in the tank. I don't know about the family side or us in the broadcast booth. I've been a broadcaster for 20 years. I don't think I've ever been part of tension like this.
Everything on the line. There is the tension in the air. It's the same, John, as an NCAA tournament, as any other high-level sporting event. There's Zach Sheewey up the left side, touched up, throw incoming.
To Midland-Odessa, they say.
Second minute. Detroit City FC has had some really good pressure here in the extra time. Numerous corner kicks. That man, Rossetti, ripped one wide of the cage. But we continue to play on, 0-0 the score.
You know, the other end of the pitch, Fernando Pena. I've loved why he's like a caged lion standing outside his crease. He's into this match, and that's what you like to see from your keeper. Always on the side of the pitch where the ball is, just pacing around there and staying involved. And in an extra time match like this, it's easy for keepers to lose some of that, you know, the intensity that they have. And Fernando's had it all night.
Carroll touches that one in the air. Nice job by Stephen Carroll. Atkins to Sadie. Line to the left. Sean Lawson on the move. Lawson ahead. Left side, Shiwi. Can he close on it? He wins the corner.
Great job by Shiwi, just to know he wasn't going to get the cross in, but he could direct it off the defender. Heads up play.
With those fresh wheels coming in to start extra time. He will trot back to defend. And here's Jeff Atkins. Janicki moves up to his usual spot. I've seen Dave Edwardson around all these corners here tonight. He's always been in the mix. Let's see. Atkins gives a signal. Here we go. Towards the back post, and it got through.
I think Janicki was there, so was Stephen Carroll.
And the keeper, Inez Ortiz, with the deflection, I believe. Let's peep it real quick. Yep. That is the case, and it's a good thing he did. Roddy Green was at that back post, ready to roll. So we'll try the other side. Atkins again. Goes up at the right hand. Service short this time, and it's headed away.
Nice job. Nice job by Zach Shiwi to come up and take and send that ball out to touch and let his defenders get back. That's a little play that means an awful lot, because one turn there and Midland-Odessa had a potentially lethal counter on.
They'll have to settle for the throw. The throw is flicked on. Now it's sent into the Sockers bench area. 105th minute. 2 15-minute half, no matter what. Dave Edwardson sends it wide to Shiwi. In the corner. Roddy Green the target. Green's on the move, and that ball will be escorted over the line. Salvador Rubio.
They will have stoppage time at the end of both halves here. It's just like normal time in every respect. So there is the potential for stoppage.
Ramirez Ortiz sends it up and misfires. It'll be a throw-in for Detroit City. And that is instead the whistle. The first 15 minutes of extra time in the books. It has settled nothing. 15 more minutes on deck. Is everybody breathing into the brown paper bag right now repeatedly?
I am, Parts.
As the crowd comes to their feet, 7,500 plus, appreciative of the effort. But nothing has been decided. We will play on. And John, it bears repeating too, at this NPSL level, these guys aren't playing for contracts. They're playing for this. This moment is the only thing that matters.
No, you know what? I equate it an awful lot to high school sports. I know these are college kids. They're playing for exposure. But I do a lot with the Michigan High School Athletic Association and their network. And the fun thing I love about high school sports is that you're playing for pride. You're playing for the guy in the stands who happens to be your barber back there to cut your hair. You're playing for the gym at school. And you're playing for just being out there and winning this moment. And so there is a purity about this. It's a great thing. There have been some controversy and some tense moments here during the extra time period, Neil, though. And the biggest was the potential foul coming in. At first look, I thought it might have been a goal-scoring opportunity. The replay a little kinder to Leland Grant, but there's no question that was an arm extended, and perhaps is coming in after the shot there with Cyrus Sadie. City could have had a free kick in a dangerous area. Coming in, there's the little look. Couple of corners from Jeff Adkins, and perhaps City's best chance of the extra time, the play that was cleared off the line by Andrew Moulin. If you're a City fan, Neil Rule, I would say this. Their best 15 minutes was the last 15 minutes. And so if that continues, you wondered if it's not but when they finally get something over the line. They just have to keep the intensity up, and they have to keep doing what they did in the first half of extra time, which is not let the referee decide things, not be taken off the ball by their opponents, play City football really for the first time consistently all night.
And there are the two leaders out there on the field, Matt Barnes and Ben Pierman. And let it not get lost, John, here tonight, these two coaches have gone toe-to-toe. We've seen moves and counter moves. We've seen the action flip back and forth. These two coaches are coaching at a very high level here tonight as well.
I'll tell you what, Ben Pierman is a tactician, and he has used the tactics well. And frankly, if I'm Matt Barnes, I got to be really proud of my boys. He told me they wanted to play a defensive game going in, that they could score, but their first job was to prevent Detroit City from scoring, and that's what they've done. They've been very resolute defensively, and they've been very physical. So both of these coaches getting a little bit of what they want out of their players, and what that makes for is a really good game of soccer, and that's what we have.
That is the scenario. 105 minutes has settled nothing. We press on here in Hamtramck in front of a sold-out crowd. Largest crowd in the history of Detroit City FC by a long ways. Midland-Odessa with the possession, and away we go. We'll play 120 here tonight. No winner, we go to penalties. Fire up the roulette wheel. Atkins stepping through. Up the left side to Cyrus Sadie. Sadie unable to settle it down. And that brought the crowd to their feet.
Cyrus can't wait that long on the ball. Their center backs and two holding midfielders are going to close down.
If you're just joining us, Detroit City FC in the LaRouge kits, Midland-Odessa FC in the white kits. And my other question for you, if you're just joining us, where the hell you been all night? This has been tension-filled the whole way through. Up the left side on the run, Isaac Sanchez. That ball has scored it out of play. And John, you saw the effects of 106 minutes of soccer on the legs of Isaac Sanchez there. Just didn't have the closing speed he had earlier.
No, you know, it's funny. You mentioned the effect of overtime, of extra time. I was behind the microphone for the 8 overtime game in MHSA high school hockey. It was called a tie between Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Marquette. And as the overtime wore on, what you saw was kids taking a rush up ice and then the legs just giving out. And I think that's what you're starting to see a little bit here, as the tank just goes to empty a little bit quicker.
If you're going to make a run, you really have to think about it and convince yourself to do it. Zach Shiwi on the line, up the left side, trying to send a cross in. Instead finds Cyrus Sadie. Sadie taken down from behind. So here comes a dangerous setup. Memo Diaz throws his fist down in anger. But this is pretty much a de facto corner kick with a little bit better angle, John.
Yeah, it is. And City bringing the defenders forward. They're keeping 2 defenders back to go against the 1 forward for Midland-Odessa. But City setting up and a little lower line for Midland-Odessa on the free kick. So City will have a shot at this.
Atkins sends it towards the post. A run is made. It gets through everyone. And Roddy Green will tap it back out to Cyrus Sadie.
That looked like it changed directions in there, Neil.
Sadie sends it in. Oh, and just at the feet of Stephen Carroll, it goes through. Stephen Carroll was on the doorstep. And you look at the faces of the crowd here at Keyworth, everybody hanging on every cross.
Here's Cyrus, he sends that in. So close, Jean-Claude Lawson.
And it's funny, John, just to look down here and see the look of exasperation on everybody's face.
They want this so bad, Neil. And I've heard a lot of great roars in Detroit sports. I think if City could find a goal here, we'd hear one from 7,000 strong that would rival it.
Jeff Atkins keeps that ball in play.
Nice dummy through there if Cyrus can get on it.
Sean Lawson finds Atkins, touches it up ahead for Cyrus Sadie. The crowd to their feet again. Sadie, and a nice recovery by Memo Diaz as he closes the door on that attack.
That's a beautiful job to step inside and cut Cyrus Sadie away from the ball cleanly without giving the foul. And on the other end, a great job by City.
Penner trying to make a go of it. On the ball, look through midfield, a lot of space in midfield. There's Midland-Odessa, and that service again towards Penner.
It's a good pickup, partner, and that's not what City wants to see. You don't want to see Midland-Odessa in that much space in midfield at all. Look at Janicki there holding up.
Stepping through was Penner again. The official says play on with the advantage. Left side cross. Stephen Carroll knocks that one down easily and turns and burns towards midfield. The legs are heavy here in the 110th minute.
And by the way, that was a good play of advantage by Leland Graham. Not an egregious foul by Janicki, but a foul. It was in a good advantage situation.
Cyrus Sadie taken down, and here comes a attack up on the left side. And that shot chipped over top of the frame. And a goal kick awarded as Cyrus Sadie, boy, Dave Edwardson, the captain, given everything he had left in the tank to come back to defend. It'll be interesting to check this replay. And Mullen again sent it out to the left side. Boy, and Clifford that close to shattering some dreams.
Wow, nice play through. Clifford in, playing his first minutes as a Midland-Odessa player, and he missed it by 2 feet.
Edwardson, I think, deflected that, so City's going to get away with one here.
We've got a sub coming in, substitution for Midland-Odessa. And coming on from Midland-Odessa is
Jamie O'Grady into the game.
Who we thought wasn't going to play. We were told he was injured, but I guess in extra time all bets are off. And this is a prolific forward. He had a brace in the Lone Star Conference semifinals. He is responsible, in fact, in the Lone Star Conference semifinals that got Midland-Odessa to the South Region Championships. He scored 2 goals inside of 3 minutes of being on the pitch in the first and third minutes. So he can score quickly. This is the wild card for Midland-Odessa right here. The last real pull of the handle that Matt Barnes has.
O'Grady plays his college soccer at Hartwood College. Had a hat trick last year in a match against Robert Morris, so was more than capable of finding the back of the net. And we'll see how this changes things for Midland-Odessa FC.
Also, you're bringing O'Grady on there not just for the 9 minutes of extra time, but because even injured, he can take a penalty. And to take a penalty in penalties, you have to be a player on the pitch. You cannot sub at 90 minutes. They can't sub before the penalties. So they're bringing O'Grady on, rather check at the 120th minute. They're bringing him on so that he can be on the pitch to step up and maybe take a penalty.
So Sadie goes down and the foul is called. Sadie having some words and a chuckle right now with his Midland-Odessa counterpart.
Well, we started at 7:30, Neil. 6:30 Texas time. It's now 10 o'clock here at Keyworth. These guys have been going for 2.5 hours of real time with some breaks. And they've treated the audience here to every bit of the $10 it costs to get in.
So Atkins to serve. Right foot up towards the box. And 2 Midland-Odessa defenders there to head it away. They will look to counter. Shiwi tried to settle it down. Shiwi run over. Carroll sends it through, but it goes over the line. Throwing coming up for the Sockers.
Again, the long ball through. City keeps trying. That little ball on the ground through. If it gets through, it's magic. But Midland-Odessa has shut that down very well tonight here. 7 minutes of extra time to go. You are in de facto sudden death right now, and City in trouble there as Midland-Odessa tracks it down. Nice job by Troy Watson to at least send it to touch.
Isaac Sanchez just not with the burst that he had earlier here tonight, which is to be expected. 114 minutes of play. Throw-in coming for the Sockers again. Everything on the line. They're just 6 minutes and some change away from penalties possibly deciding this thing.
And I think it's the biggest travesty in soccer. Penalties. I'll say it here now. I would prefer an extra 30 minutes of golden goal time, but that's just me. Watch out here.
There's a developing situation. That ball played ahead, and now Detroit City FC will clear it out. Carroll, though, gives it away, and now they're right back in a dangerous situation again, but Troy Watson stands tall, and he will turn and burn down the field.
That's just tired. Stephen Carroll, the legs didn't do what the brain wanted there.
Up the left side again. Janicki moves it out towards the middle. Now it's touched back in. Fernando Pena will hop off the line and scoop that up. And John, we are seeing two squads right now. Frankly, they're spent. There's just not a lot of possession being built. It looks as though they are resigned to their fate.
O'Grady was staying right next to Pena there, and Pena wasn't punting the ball away. And O'Grady turned around. He wanted Pena booked for time wasting.
There's Sean Lawson. Touches it up to Roddy Green. Can he catch up with it? He does. The captain, Dave Edwardson, to the middle. Cyrus Haiti, nifty give and go. Green will win the corner. And Green wants the crowd to step it up.
And they do. Somebody hit the go button on the keyword faithful again.
Jeff Atkins into the corner. "116th minute. Does City have some magic? Atkins, the corner, served, and it's headed away.
Nice job by Cyrus there to settle it down and not take a needless lash.
Cyrus Haiti with the corner, and it's off the crossbar. Oh, Cyrus Haiti sent a beautiful cross.
How did that
and it was
miss?
headed off the crossbar.
Oh, off the crossbar and down. Here they come again.
There's Bakey Goodman. Puts the brakes on. Edwardson tried to thread it through to the left side. That ball popped up into the air. Janicki keeps it alive. I'm sure we'll get another look at that when time permits. Edwardson chips it up. Nobody home for LaRouge. That ball sent back up towards midfield. But you see Midland-Odessa, John, they are really packing back defensively.
Yeah, this is a tired team now. They'd like to get to penalties.
Edwardson sends it through. Goodman steps into the left-footed shot. That was blocked. But right back out to Edwardson.
Settle it down. No need to shoot from there. Nice job to pass it away.
It was played towards the middle. Zach Shiwi will step up and send it back in. Troy Watson sends that one a little bit too far.
And nobody was making a run.
And Eris Ortiz will scoop it up. 118th minute. A berth in the national championship on the line. Long ball sent ahead, headed out easily by Janicki, former DC United player. Nifty header sent out towards the right side. Isaac Sanchez turns with it, drops it off. Diaz trying to make a run. Jeff Atkins challenges him, plays it over the touchline.
Nice job by Atkins there to use the touchline as the defender. Here's the shot off the crossbar. Comes in.
That close, folks.
Oh, 4 inches, and that goes under the bar.
That's how close we were. Scrambler sends a throw in. Pena was cleared off in his attempt to try to catch the ball. Throw in for Detroit City. 120th minute.
Sub coming on for City, Neil, as Ben Pierman takes a look at who's going to take penalties, and it's a forward, Mauricio Castorino, who will come on to be eligible for the shootout. Has to get in play before extra time expires, and he will get in play now.
So Castorino comes in, and the crowd with an appreciative round of applause for Bakey Goodman as he left it all out there for 120 minutes.
He's another guy for City I would have liked to have seen on a Midwest region best 11, but most of his work went under the radar. Play it forward.
And that ball sent to the corner. Atkins gets on the other end of it to the corner. Atkins still with the control. Touches it through. Castorino has fresh legs. Shiwi steps up. We're in stoppage time. Atkins unable to get it through.
I can't imagine we'd have more than 2 minutes here.
Throw-in coming up for City. Sadie serves it towards the box. It's headed away. Castorino unable to keep his footing. And that is the whistle. And we are going to penalties. 120 minutes decides nothing. So as my partner John Krieger likes to say, let's spin the roulette wheel.
I hate the way soccer ends this. This is not the way this match should end. They should play another 30 minutes of golden goal. And then if you have to go to penalties, the fact that you now get down to keeper versus shooter from the spot kick is antithetical to the way the game is played. And it's a shame it has to end like this for both of these teams.
And the tweets are flying in with a hashtag #WatchCity, and I can sum them all up with one. The picture of stress and the look on everybody's face. And that is echoed from 7,500 plus here tonight at Keyworth. And this is how close it was for Detroit City FC. Cyrus Sadie with the cross. And John, look at this.
4 inches. 4 inches, and it's
Greg Janicki had a chance to be a hero.
And that was, we saw that. We saw the play in, and we saw Janicki in there. And we knew his physicality could be an asset. He was so close. So here's what you need to know for penalties. Players will take shots in turns. We're still under the FIFA setting of AB. There'll be a coin toss, and it'll be the team that wins the toss can either shoot first, shoot second, or choose the end to which they will play. All the penalties will be taken at one end of the field, and that will be up to the team. It's kind of like the football coin toss. You either choose to shoot first or second, or choose the end. When a spot kick is taken, the goalkeeper theoretically, and I say theoretically because it is the loosest rule in soccer,
cannot come off his line until the ball is struck. So you'll see a lot of good keepers jumping around behind their line to be able to vault forward. There'll be 5 penalties. The most converted penalty kicks at the end of 5 penalties is the winner. If we are tied at the end of 5 penalties, we will go to the ultimate sudden death, which is basically mismake. If you make, and in the same round the other side misses, you advance.
And there's the man of the hour right now for Detroit City FC, Fernando Pena. Has done more than his part to keep his side level at 0, and it will all come down to him.
It is also worth noting he is a player on the pitch. Players cannot take a penalty until retake a penalty until all other players have taken one. So it is possible that the keepers tonight could take a penalty.
Julio Linares Ortiz on the other side.
The players who are not taking the penalties will all line up behind the halfway line. You take the ball and you walk down and claim the ball, and it is on the scoring half of the field, just penalty taker and keeper. The opposite number keeper is allowed to stand off to the side in a way that does not interfere with the play.
I saw Dave Edwardson put 2 fingers up.
That means City shoots second.
I believe is the scenario. And going down to the cage right now will be Fernando Pena.
Well, that means you would have to think that means that the Midland-Odessa team won the toss and elected to shoot first, and City elected to go down with their fans. I don't know the result of the coin toss, but if I were Midland-Odessa, I'd have been shooting at the wall over at the other end of Keyworth.
I'm always of the opinion, I always like to know what I need. They always want to go second.
See, and I agree with that, except that in this format, going second can be somewhat of a hindrance, and it's why FIFA is exploring changing the way penalty shootouts are run. Instead of A, B, A, B, A, B, to go A, B, B, A, B.
So they want it to be more like a cheat code in Contra, you're saying?
Pretty much. But basically going second, though, if you get to say that mismake situation and somebody converts, every shooter that comes up for you knows they have to score or they lose. That's an incredible amount of pressure. So, yes, you know what you need, but also, you know, especially with players of this age bracket, having somebody up there knowing I have to convert or we lose is tough.
So this is the scenario. Fernando Pena. Julio Linares Ortiz will take center stage.
Keeper going first. I said the keepers could take the penalty, or is he going to go down and just, no, they're just doing the keeper love fest that happens. Because nobody ever likes to be a part of this.
I always wonder, what's the official saying right now? Hey, they're going to kick it at you. You got to try to stomp it.
No, he's giving them the ground rules if you can't come off your line. Because there is a set of rules for the keeper to follow. They can jump around, they can misdirect, but they are supposed to not be able to come forward of their line before the ball is struck. And so I would assume that is what's being said down there. Fellas, hold your line, because if the keeper comes off too early, the referee can administer the penalty again. He can order the kick to be retaken.
Alvaro Rubio will kick things off. 7,500 plus. Nobody is sitting here at Keyworth.
Everybody on their feet. You got to love it. 7,500 plus.
Fernando Pena wants the crowd to make some noise.
Remember, he's already saved one penalty this year.
Rubio sizes it up. The official makes the whistle. Rubio steps towards it and puts it in. And the hush comes across the crowd here at Keyworth. Midland-Odessa takes a 1-0 lead in the penalties.
And Fernando just guessed the wrong way. Well taken. And it's 1-0.
So now City looking to answer. Roddy Green trying to level This penalty session at 1. Green steps, and the save is made. Linares Ortiz does the job, and now the onus is on Pena.
That was not a confidently taken penalty. A little hitch in his giddy up, and it was not well struck. Take a look at this, and he telegraphed that all the way. And that's a good, educated guess by Linares Ortiz at a shot that was well inside the post, and that's a good save.
Mullen now will step over. Mullen's had a couple of quality opportunities here tonight that went by the boards. Pena will try to close the door and get this back on serve, so to say. Mullen approaches, and Mullen goes to the right corner and puts it in.
Mullen tries the cheeky chip, and he gets it to go as Pena guessed wrong again. Just a little hitch in the giddy up, and if Fernando Pena had guessed the other way, it would have been a relatively easy save, but a little chip and a goal. And so now it's Sean-Claude Lawson.
Sean Lawson, pretty much, I mean, not mathematically, but for the most part, will have to convert here for Detroit City. The former Golden Grizzly approaches and puts it confidently in the upper right-hand corner, 2-1.
That is the best taken penalty of the 4. Difficult to save, well struck, good placement. Number 9 does it again.
Sean Lawson, the keeper guessed the right direction, but you're not stopping that one.
Nope. Struck well with pace and well placed.
Isaac Sanchez next up for Midland-Odessa. 2-1 the count. Fernando Pena trying to put a red mark here under Midland-Odessa FC. Sanchez makes the run, sends it, and puts it in the lower left corner.
That's a really well taken penalty. Low and placed near the post. To save that, the keeper's got to guess right and be perfect. Little head fake there, got Pena off his line. That's beautifully taken.
So again, the pressure shifts back to Detroit City FC. 3-1 the score. Castorino trying to keep Detroit City FC in this.
Can the reserve forward do it?
Castorino on the approach, and he's denied by Linares Ortiz.
Either he didn't get all of it, or that was just not a confident take. Had no pace on it at all. Almost just rolled toward the goal. And an easy save. And so now
its back's against the wall.
Well, it is, because this would be the winning penalty kick. I believe Midland-Odessa have
3-1.
3-1 with 2 shooters left.
And we close the door.
It's got to be save, save, convert, convert.
Jamie O'Grady can put Midland-Odessa into the national championship. O'Grady on the move. Fires it, and it's off the crossbar, I believe. Or did Pena get a piece of it?
I think Pena got a piece of it up onto the crossbar and kept it out.
Either way, it didn't go in. Detroit City FC still alive.
But Stephen Carroll's got to score here, remember. So there's it up.
Nope.
High up. No, Pena didn't get it. Just off the bar. Bottom of the bar.
Flat out off the crossbar. O'Grady with his hands on his head. Can Stephen Carroll take advantage and really shift some pressure on Midland-Odessa FC? Carroll has to deliver here for City. Here we go. Carroll strikes it pure into the back of the net.
He wasn't going to be denied. That's a rocket off the boot of Stephen Carroll. And now it's up to the Magic Man in orange one more time. If Pena can keep him out as Carroll strikes it, well placed under the bar. If Pena can make the save and City can convert,
we'd be level at 3 after 5. But this is the second opportunity in a row for Midland-Odessa to go on to the final.
Elliot Bentley will strike it with the left foot. Fernando Pena has to close the door for City. The crowd on their feet. Bentley makes the move and finds the back of the net. And Midland-Odessa FC is moving on to the national championship.
And Midland-Odessa going over to celebrate in front of the Northern Guard. That is not a good idea. They'll come at you. And they're going over to celebrate a penalty shootout win. Fernando Pena guessed the right way. He just couldn't get the hand down there.
4-2. Midland-Odessa FC with the win. And they will be moving on to play Elm City in the NPSL National Championship powered by Mitre.
So there it is, your final score, 0-0 after extra time. The final 4-2 on penalties. Midland-Odessa, you'd have to say deserved winners, Neil Rule. You cannot argue that they played as the better team for long stretches of this match. Truthfully, if it weren't for a man-of-the-match level performance from Fernando Pena, they would have been 2 or 3-0 to the good in the first half, and we wouldn't have gotten this far. And so Fernando Pena, with a man-of-the-match level performance to keep his side in this game, then City turned it on in the extra period, put a couple off the woodwork, and were inches away from punching their own ticket. And then the unkindest cut of all, penalty kicks. And in the end, 2 penalties by City players that were not well taken and easily saved, frankly. And 4 very well taken penalties by Midland-Odessa, the last of which Pena almost dived and made one miraculous save, but in the end, Midland-Odessa a deserved win. But hats off to Detroit City. Remember, Neil, this was a side that started this season. No wins, 2 draws, and a loss in the first weekends of May. And they're playing in the first week in August. And that says an awful lot of what Detroit City has done. They've grown this game. They've grown their supporter base throughout this season. And they have made this city's football community fall in love with the heart and passion and pride that LaRouge has exhibited. And they end the season, it is worth noting, without losing more than 1 game here at Keyworth Stadium in normal time. The only loss in regulation was to AFC Ann Arbor. And of course, here at Keyworth Stadium, it took penalties to knock them out here. They defended their home patch well. They gave everyone here everything they could. And frankly, they did their city, their supporters, the Northern Guard, and most of all themselves very, very proud. They had their chances tonight. They couldn't take them, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve the celebration befitting a team that is a regional champion and someone that and a team that gave their all tonight. Congratulations to Midland-Odessa. They're the winners. Good luck to them against Elm City. But Detroit City, winners no matter what tonight for what they've done with this season and with this team. And a lot of us will be sad to see them go because they're a great bunch of kids.
120 minutes could not decide this match here tonight. It came down to penalties. And in the end, Midland-Odessa FC behind Braulio Leonidas Ortiz would get the victory by the score of 4-2 and advance to the NPSL National Championship, where they will play Elm City for their 4-2 penalty victory. It's been a very special ride here for Detroit City FC that comes to a close here tonight at Keyworth. Be sure you stay on the lookout for the U.S. Air Force weekend recap at DetroitCityFC.com as they will recap all the action from the weekend that was in Detroit City FC soccer action.
Well, Neil Rule, this brings to the end our Watch City broadcast. It's been fun working with you, Pods.
Absolutely, has been a good time. It's been a fun ride. And for all our crew, we've had a great time bringing all the sights and sounds all season long. It started way back in May. But tonight, it comes to a close. Midland-Odessa victorious, 4-2 in penalties after a 0-0 120 minutes. So, our broadcast partner, John Krieger, our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, and our entire crew here at Detroit City FC, thank you for watching all season long. Well, see you later.